David.
Welcome to UTAS Stadium. The second round of matches in the TSL begins tonight, and what an event we've got here at UTAS Stadium. The Northern Derby, Launceston versus North Launceston. The Northern Bombers on their home turf. They're looking for a bit of revenge after going down to Launceston early in the year. It's going to be a great game. Thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio, 103.7 and 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. And excitement's building here, not far away from the first bounce. Let's introduce the team this evening. First of all, to my left, welcome Macca.
Yes, Dave. Well, who would have thought, hey? TSL football Wednesday night live in Launceston. But yeah, look, it's a beautiful evening, and sure it'll chill down later on. But we see the top two teams tonight, don't we? Launceston, North Launceston. Of course, North Launceston were beaten out at Windsor Park earlier in the season in round 2 by the Launceston outfit, and that was a bit of a surprise. North have been in form since then, and we're going to see how things go tonight. It's going to be really intriguing. I don't know who to pick at this stage, Foz. Maybe this man on my left can help me.
Let's introduce him. He's South Launceston Premiership captain, Glenorchy Premiership player, and Western Storm coach. Here's Mitch Hills for City Park Radio.
Nice back.
Round of applause. Thanks, Dave. It's really good to be here. It's taken you half a year to get me involved, mate, but I'm here and
Contract negotiations stalled, and now they're open.
We've been working on it, but it's come to fruition. So, pretty happy to be here. Wednesday night is a great concept. Really looking forward to this one between the two top teams in the comp. So, a lot of depth, a lot of talent in both sides, and there's a few informed players looking forward to seeing.
Tell me, Hillsy, what you think about North Launceston. Of course, went to KG5, played in a bit of a slog of a game down there. The boys were down there, and Launceston sat at home and had the bye. How's that going to affect tonight's game, do you think, especially late in the second half?
It's going to be different for the players, obviously backing up on a short break from playing down there in tough
Saturday
conditions.
to Wednesday.
It's a beautiful location, KG5, I must say, but no, look, I think it's going to be tough for Lonnie, but they'll take confidence out of that round 1 victory they had over North. I know North's had the wood over them over the last few years, especially here at UTAS, so it's going to be really interesting to see how they run out the game, and North have had a little bit of form lately. So,
two of the key matchups down there at Windsor Park earlier in the year was the youngster in Dakin went to Whitford and actually shut him right out of the game, and the other one was Auckland on Lee, and that was his best game, Timmy Auckland, someone you've had a lot to do with. Yeah. How do you see those two matchups tonight? Does Dakin go to Whitford again?
Yeah, look, I love seeing these two young boys from Launceston perform at this level. So, in a different role for Dakin to probably not be a ball winner, but to shut someone down and still get ball.
Still get enough, that's right.
Yeah, which is really good for him in his development. And take out a good player like Whitford, that really helped them win that game. And, Auckland came back into the side, took Leadham out of the side, which is a big call. And he was able to play a really, really good game and keep him out. So he's had form. So that's really interesting to see how he'll go tonight.
The captain, what do you got for us?
Got some earlier scores, Mac. In the under-18s, it was Launceston 7-12-54. Defeated North Launceston 6-7-43. And early days in the D-League, next door here at Infirmay Park, it was North Launceston 19 to Launceston 2. So a fast start there for the Bombers D-League. And that's a big game for those two teams as well.
Yeah, well, all those teams are up the top, the pointy end of the ladder, and a lot of youngsters playing in both of those teams. And you mentioned people like Leadham and senior players playing in the Launceston D-League side there as well. So both coaches, Mitch Thorpe and also Taylor Whitford, haven't been afraid to drop seasoned performers, have they? We've seen Bart McCulloch get dropped, come back into the side. He's kicked 8 for the season. We see Tommy Bennett. He's been dropped. He comes back in the last couple of days, last couple of weeks, but hasn't really done a lot. He's starting on the bench tonight by the looks. We've got Zach Burt there, another one that came back to the club this year. And a youngster in Bain and Low, Foz. You saw him down at KG5?
Yeah, really impressive. He's good at his decision making, so he gets the ball a lot. He's handy around goal, and it's fitted right into this North Launceston team.
He is. Isaac Chugg back into tonight's lineup. Horses for courses thing there, Hilsey?
I don't know. I think they've been trying to get him in for a while, to be honest. I think he provides a lot of run and dash, and he does take the game on. So it's going to be good to see if he can use it well tonight and use the open spaces.
Late change, Macca?
Yeah, late change. James Gillow is out of the Launceston lineup, and coming in is Julian James, stepping up from the St Pat's Old Boys this year. Done the hard work, and he makes his debut for Launceston tonight, Hilsey.
Yeah, I think he's
one of your old Stormers.
Yeah, Storm boy. I think he has been performing well regularly in the D-League, so deserved his opportunity and a big stage for him too.
Is that a match-up, you think, like with the height of the North Launceston forward line?
It is going to be an issue, that height. They have been able to cover pretty well, and a few boys playing tall down there, but the midfield battle is going to be huge, so we'll see how it goes.
We're set to go here on City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Brisbane Street Mall and Kings Meadows were underway. Here's Macca McGee to kick us off.
Round 8 action TSL football. Wednesday night live at UTAS Stadium. Lee and Auckland go at it. Ponting, bottom of the pack, and he's going to be up with the footy. In terrific form, Josh Ponting. 30-odd touches on the weekend. Heaps of clearances, contested possessions. This one comes down the front. It's Seymour, and he's held up in a tackle. So the ball hasn't gone very far at all. For those radio listeners that aren't part of the live stream, Launceston are kicking to the Invermay Park end here at UTAS Stadium, and big Bart McCulloch sits in the goal square at the city end. Cox Goodger, he finds Denellen on the 50. Denellen looks to go. Here's Bart McCulloch. He takes the mark on about a 40-degree angle out in front of Jamison House. Well, Big Bart, one of your mates, Hillsy, he's moved really well the last couple of weeks. What have you been hearing behind the scenes with the big Bartholomew?
I did have a bit of a chat to him when he got dropped there. He was pretty flat about that, but he has worked hard to get back in. He had confidence that he would get back in the side. He'll love a one-on-one deep inside 50 versus Jamison House all night. Well,
especially kicking to that fat side of the ground. Terrific runner, Bart McCulloch. He crosses the 50 now towards the city end. Comes off the boot a little bit shallow. There's an up and an under, and there's a mark. There's a mark in the square. And it's to North Launceston now.
Tom Donnelly,
and now it's 50. So Donnelly comes around and he gets the first goal on the board. Tom Donnelly wearing the long sleeves tonight. I was expecting to be a little bit taller there. Sorry to our listeners and our viewers. So Tom Donnelly takes the mark after a bit of a shank kick from Bart McCulloch. And Tom Donnelly gets North Launceston first goal. Mitch Hills.
Big sauce Donnelly, very versatile. He'll like kicking goals from that close, I think, because he's a bit shaky with the kick. Bart's not a great set shot there, but really good one-on-one, and the midfield stoppage was a good win from North Lonnie early.
Other end of the ground, Hills, we see Richter Solder taking Jake Hines in the goal square, so that's probably a win for Launceston, because Richter Solder, we see him as a damaging half-back flanker, and he's been dragged back to the goal square on matchups.
In the middle again.
Definitely a ploy.
Auckland wins the tap to the forward of the contest. Harper, quick kick, released into the forward line, bouncing ball. No one can pick it up. Congested now. Hines there fighting for the ball there with Jackie Avent. Yeah, ball up. So a good clearance there from the Blues, Macca.
Another one of those key matchups at Windsor Park was Avent on Blackberry.
Yep.
Could have the job again tonight.
In the ruck contest, Lee wins it. Harper's hovering, got it now. Uses strength, kicks high in the air towards the goal square. Hines there with Richter Salter. Ball bounces in towards Palfreyman, little handball. Chance here off the ground, that's a goal.
Riley.
And it's Dylan Riley. Great goal from the side of the goal square. Kicked it in mid-air, and he kicks the first for Launceston. Goal apiece. Fast start here at UTAS Stadium. Wednesday night footy. TSL footy at its finest, a goal apiece.
We were talking before the game off air, Hillsy, about Dylan Riley, and he's just the matchup on him. It's just so difficult. And that pace and that electricity on the ground that he has. Is it Nankervis that's gone to him?
Yeah, look, his X factor's huge. I think he's so good in the air and so good on the ground and ultra competitive. So it's going to be a tough matchup. It is Nankervis that's got the job at the moment, and they don't have a heap of options there. So it's going to be about that midfield again. So
another good matchup. Callow starts back tonight. He's on youngster and Alec Wright. So two young Tassie boys there on top of each other. Not a great bounce. The umpire's going to call it back and go again. So Callow, half back.
Yeah, look, they've played around with that a bit, haven't they? So obviously a big power forward, but can go both ends. So it'll be interesting to see how he takes the game on here.
Secondary ball up by the umpire here at the middle of UTAS. A goal apiece. Electric start from both sides. Taken out of the middle by Egger. We've seen him play some good footy. Here's wheel and go North Launceston through Daniel Withers. One of the ends. Looks for Lasky. He turns and goes. He goes again. Does Lasky. Has a look at the big sticks now. Jake Lasky. That's a beauty. Wow, Jake Lasky. He danced around. He pulled the trigger a couple of times and then went bang. And good goal, Jake Lasky. Well,
he's someone we've wanted to see step up for a number of years. He does definitely have that talent around goals. He looked like he had a heap of time there. So maybe comfortable at the level now and just taking the game on.
I was going to say it was a breakout game for him last week down at KG5. He really looked confident and did lots of moves like that.
Yep.
Used his skill and finished off with a nice goal. So we've only been playing 4.5 minutes.
Fast.
3 goals already, 2 goals North Launceston, 1 goal to Launceston. As we're in the middle of the stadium here, beautiful conditions for this time of year. Not too cold. Dew might be a factor later on. But to the ground in excellent condition. Umpire bounces the ball. Auckland and Lee nullify each other. Palfreyman sharks it. Kicks inside 50. Leading for it is Alec Wright. Taps at the advantage there of Tyson Miller. Miller gets the handle now. Dodges around. gets a handball sideways. Blackberry centering, kicks a good one, finding Jared Dakin. Smart play, Jay Blackberry used his experience there. Spotted up Dakin, and he's about 40, 45 out, slight angle. Jared Dakin's goal kicking, Hillsy.
Distance might be a little bit of an issue, but he has got a powerful leg, so we'll see how we go.
Okay, so it's Jared Dakin coming in now for the second goal for Launceston. Umpire moves, but it's all right. It's in between the big sticks. Second goal on the board for Launceston. 5.5 minutes, 4 goals. Electrifying stuff here at UTAS Stadium. And great work from Jay Blackberry. As I said, he's showing his experience there. He could have released for goal, but he spotted up Dakin nicely.
I might be stating the obvious here, but you mentioned that matchup with Blackberry. He's a prime mover for Lonnie, and he's been a reason for their rise this year. He's an excellent user of the football, and he will hit a target inside 50. So you do need to have someone on him at all times.
That's right. And I think this comes at a good time, Launceston having a game here at UTAS. We saw the other week down at Windsor Park a real hard slog, 2-1. Can you believe it, against Clarence? And they kicked 2 in the first, 6 minutes tonight, and only managed 1 a couple of weeks ago against Clarence. So beautiful stadium here at UTAS Stadium. Bain Lowe, the youngster from Devonport, gives it to Alex Lee, snaps it across. Here's Sanders clean. Underneath, silky left foot. Goes out in front of Fozzie's boy, Jackie Rushton. He wheels and goes to the little fella from Rochalee. Up in front of McCulley. Can't take it on. Miller Hodge. He's caught. He's gone. He's holding the footy. So Miller Hodge, he stepped into that one, and it was a good tackle.
Dan Withers.
And it's the Dan Withers, stepped up from the NTFA this year. Dan Withers, seen much of him, Mitch?
I haven't seen a lot of him. I have heard good things about him, so I'll be interested to see how he goes tonight. That was a great tackle. Hard, aggressive tackle.
Won a medal in Division 2 and also Division 1 in the NTFA at St Pat's and Hillwood. And Daniel Withers, Miller Hodge just stepped inside and was pinged by Daniel Withers. So Withers, an inclusion tonight towards the city end of the ground, and he's missed near side through for 1 behind. That's the first behind of the evening after an electric start. North Launceston, 2 goals 13. Launceston 2 straight 12. And looks like Auckland's just going to follow Alex Lee around the ground everywhere he goes. That'll be good learning for Auckland on this bigger ground.
Will be, yeah.
Because he hasn't had a lot of the footy, Timmy Auckland.
Yeah, I do. It was the thing we worked with him on a lot, was that marking around the ground and sort of trying to drop back into defence and link up through the middle of the ground. So hopefully he's continued to work on that and add that to his game. So we'll see tonight. One
of the issues here at UTAS Stadium, there's not many spectators behind the goals, and Jake Smith actually had to go and retrieve the ball himself, hence the delay. So Jake Smith, he'll look to play on to himself, I'd imagine, just walk out of the square. There he goes, towards the railway wing side of the ground. Looks for Harper. Good grab, big head. Big Harps.
Big head.
Yeah, big head Harper. Look at it. It's ginormous. And look at the size of him. He's the form player of the competition, is Harps. Midfielder now extraordinaire. Goes long and strong down there. Good tap away. North Launceston out of bounds on the full. It's going to be a free kick North Launceston's way, opportunistic, and it's Walsh. He hits up and finds Callow.
Callow, slightly attacking side of the wing. Wheels around, keeps it low. Nice kick to Bennett. Probably too far out to score. About 60 out. He goes now inside. Tries to spot up a target. Interception though. And a good mark there to Jamison House.
He learned from the last one in, didn't he, Jamison House? He had McCulloch on the lead then as the defender.
Played in front. It was well played.
House short to Tyrrell. Still inside defensive 50. So a bit of tempo footy here from Launceston after a frenetic start to this game. Short to Harper. Harper still inside defensive 50. So North zoning off nicely here. Harper has to play on. Gets around McCulloch. Kicks outside defensive 50. Straight to Richter Solder, who takes a strong mark. One of the best intercept marks in the league is Richter Solder. Squares it off. Kick inside 50. Chance here for North Launceston, but taking a good mark back there is Joby Harper. Started well. He switches it to the far side. Nice kick for Jake Smith. He kicks straight away. Tries to find a target. He might have rushed that one a little bit. One-on-one contest here, Sanders and Tudhill. Tudhill does well. Keeps it in front of him. Well done, Jack Tudhill. Handball's chopped off, though. Jay Foon over the top. Here's Egger. Handball's to Lowe. Lowe tries to find Donnelly, who slips over, and it spills out of bounds. Left half forward for North Launceston. They lead 13-12. We've been playing nearly 10 minutes.
Joby Harper, one of your former teammates and premiership teammates, Hilsey, he's become just a pure midfielder now, isn't he? Big-bodied, Patrick Cripps, Nat Fyfe type.
He's the prototype. He looks to be kicking the ball a little bit better, which is always a pitfall, but he's really playing well early days.
Boundary throw in, Ponting by hands to Lowe. He twists and turns, snaps it back over the shoulder, looking for Bennett on the lead. He looks a bit more lively tonight, does Tommy Bennett. Lays a secondary tackle right on the 50, City end of the ground. It's going to be a ball up. You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5, or via the online stream. It's North Launceston, 2-1-13, leading Launceston 2 goals straight, 12. Seymour hacks it out towards the railway wing. He's right, good punch from behind in Callow. The ball goes out of bounds in front of those two players. So after 2 quick goals from either side, the last 5 minutes we haven't seen a lot. Inside 50s for Dave Gruber. We welcome Dave Gruber tonight. Inside 50s, 7-3 North Launceston's way. And the clearances for Dave Gruber, 4 apiece. So Seymour, Harper, Ponting, they're all in there. Ball getters in those stoppages.
Stars through the midfield, aren't they?
Oh, my word. My word. Alec Lee is going to pick up Harper, and they're going to go again here on the ball up. So Auckland. Nice tap down, but only goes as far as Lee. Back to Auckland. He misses Seymour with the hands. Seymour's going to see it out of bounds directly in front of the railway wing side of the ground.
One thing we've seen is they're giving midfield time to Sherenegger and Bain and Lowe, so they're trying to rotate some of those young players through there.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, they're informed players too, aren't they? So that's really good that Taylor's giving those young guys a go through there.
Sherenegger was fantastic last week. Amongst the goals, 3 in 1 quarter there. In the third quarter, as around the corner goes Harper, up the wing. Callow fists away, but falls to the lap of Blackberry. Blackberry looks there for Riley, who taps it to his own advantage. Skillful Dylan Riley, inside 50. Beautiful kick, well weighted. Jake Hines takes the mark in the goal square. Gee, that was fantastic play there by Dylan Riley. He just tapped the ball to his own advantage.
He's one of those
Gain
players,
possession.
One of those players, Foz, I reckon you get nervous when you play on him. It's a perceived pressure thing. He was always going to get that ball.
Jake Hines, easy as you like. Third goal for Launceston. They've hit the front here at UTAS Stadium. 3 goals straight, 18. North Launceston 2-1-13.
Well, it was Jake Hines down at Windsor Park that we saw broke the deadlock in that last quarter. He kicked the last 2 goals of the game. We mentioned him off air too. He was a good body size, isn't he, after coming back from the NEFL up in Queensland?
Yeah, looks good. Looks athletic, looks strong, and obviously playing well up forward. So,
yep, and going to make Rick DeSolder defend, and Rick DeSolder, we know, likes to get off that half-back flank.
Likes to run.
3 goals straight, 18, Launceston. North Launceston 2-1-13. We were listening to City Park Radio. We're joined here tonight. You've got Dave Gruber on the stats. Mitchell Hills to my left. I'm Matthew McGee, and here's the captain of the commentary team, David Moore.
Nice bounce up by the umpire. Lee wins the tap. They once again shark there by Palfreyman. His kick towards Davies got sandwiched. Players slow to get up. Cox Goodger out now to Lowe on the left foot. Not a great kick. Wormburner still rolling. Picked up nicely there by Tyrrell. Defensive handball to Jacob Boyd, who released it nicely to Palfreyman, who's been amongst it already. He's one of those players who can play forward but also get the clearances. Goes short to Boyd once again. Second involvement in this passage of play. He spots up Miller. Hodge, who takes it. Hodge now in the orange boots. He's got to switch on further, and that's Jamison House. There's a bit of territory in front of him. He wants to go. He holds it up, though. Now he goes. Short kick to Tyrrell. So Ryan Tyrrell. A few possessions already tonight. And back to Hodge, who has to wait. But takes the mark safely in front of Bennett. So attacking side of the wing on the RACT stand side of the ground is Miller Hodge. He kicks long up towards attacking 50. A lot of players in the contest. Hines front position, gets a finger to it. Victor Solder's there. Tyson Miller working hard against Jack Avent. And the umpire will ball it up just outside attacking 50. Launceston 18, North Launceston 13.
I got one alone in the square. Avent goes back now. I thought Blackberry was going to get one over the top.
Auckland. Shark there by Lowe, only as far as Chug, slight fumble. Now, is that deliberate? Umpire says no. It'll be another boundary throw in, this time about 70 metres around from the Launceston goal.
So all one-on-ones at the moment, Hilsey, right around the ground. Lots around the stoppage, but one-on-ones behind and in front of the footy.
Yeah, I think North play this ground really well. They've just seen early days, their structure behind the footy has been a problem for Lonnie's ball movement. So we'll just see how that progresses.
Nice long boundary throw in. Auckland and Lee clash. We'll say that one a bit tonight. Here's Casey Brown for the first time at his bootlaces. And Taylor Whitford tackles him, and the umpire says, give it to me. So 3 inside 50 for Launceston. And Dakin, he looks to have a different job tonight on Bradley Cox Goodyear deep. So it's an interesting one.
Another learning curve.
Ball comes in, and it's going to be a ball up. No, in fact, it's not him. It's Foon. So he's got a job on, on Jay Foon, not Cox Goodyear, sorry. Yes, Fozzel?
Quick D-League score, 22-3, North Launceston lead.
Okay, North Launceston over there at Evan May Park, running concurrently with this game. Oh, nice clean hands by Nan Curvis. Looks forward here and finds off the ground goes Bennett. Bennett to Davies, left foot, inside 50. Jake Lasky sits, 1, 2, 3 bites of the cherry. Umpire says play on, could have been a free kick. Jackie Rushton, Fozzel! Jackie Rushton, clean, good kick, good goal.
Your
Jack
boy, Foz.
Rushton.
Yep, one of my favourites, and he really snapped that goal nicely there on the left foot. Only 20 metres out directly in front, but had to decide quickly what he was going to do. Made no mistake.
Lasky,
Contest with Lasky, wasn't it? Yeah.
Might have been a free kick there. I thought Lasky might have...
the last one.
Top of the arms.
Launceston tend to at times down at Windsor Park, because there's not as much space and the game's a bit slower, they tend to get back and help a lot.
Yep.
Whereas tonight, with this flow of the game, they're just not getting that extra player back, are they?
Harder to get that extra player to roll back.
My word.
16 minutes gone. 3-1-19 North Launceston. Launceston 3 goals straight, 18. 6 goals in this first quarter.
Good to see.
It's a good game.
McCulloch goes into the ruck. Don't know if you like that one much, Hilsey, but he's in there.
It's not my favourite thing to see.
Up against Auckland. McCulloch must be feeling good with the body. He goes up. It's Auckland just down the front to Polframan. His kick goes to fresh air. Ponting, he's always in and under, is Josh Ponting. There's Miller. Brawler Taylor, kick off the ground. Then Curvis by hand to Foon. Getting defensively set on by Dakin. And it's going to be just outside the centre square towards the Launceston end of the ground. So, Jay Foon, we've seen him go forward lately, and Dakin's got a bit of a defensive role on him, Mitch.
Yeah, they've obviously identified that as a bit of an issue, so Dakin's the stopper.
Had a heap of it in those ranking points there, did Jay Foon the last few weeks. Could have been a push in the back after the umpire balled it up, but it's not. And he's going to go again just inside 50 on this occasion. North Launceston 3-1-19. Launceston 3 goals straight 18. Right. McCulloch, nice palm down, finds Ponting. McCulloch goes again at his bootlaces. Right in there is Jake Hines. Can't come out of there. In fact, it's Seymour, and it's going to be another ball up. Of course, Hines is sitting deep in the square as a dangerous target. So Polframan circles. Alec Wright to do the hit-outs. McCulloch, nice, down to his left. Ball's kicked out in front. Here's Miller. Good pressure by Burt. And it's going to be another ball up. So this is a real just congestion at the moment. Ball's just sort of ruck and maul on the way forward. I'm going to hand it over to you, Foz, and see what we can do with North Launceston leading by 1 behind.
Joby Harper back on the ground for Brennan Taylor. Straight into the contest. It's Polframan again. Almost gets another clearance. He's tackled this time, though. Egger does well. Tyson Miller. He's much improved this year. He's involved. He's tackled to a standstill there. So it'll be another ball up. 19 plays 18. Going to catch up with Jeremy Webberley, the Clarence coach, at half-time. Talk about the great start to the year for the Roos. Taken by Nan Curvis. He clears the area. Big torpedo. Up here towards 50. Lasky front position. Punched away. He goes after it again. Getting there first, though. And doing well there was Casey Brown. Now Jake Smith just clears the area. Fumble there by Harper. Taken by Cox Goodyear. Off there to Egger, who also fumbled a crucial moment. Ball getting slippery. Tyson Miller. Nice now to Casey Brown. Joe Dakin, I beg your pardon.
Yep.
He kicks up towards the half forward. Left half forward for Launceston. It'll be repelled, though, by North Launceston as Walsh kicks it beautifully to Egger. Nearly
took Egger's chest off there with a spearing pass. He goes inboard to Sanders. Over to Avent. We saw him take the Kingborough player in Lovell to the cleaners the other week as a midfielder. Playing more defensive tonight is Avent. Here's Rushton again. Taken in the tackle this time. Lasky by hand. Over the top to Curran. Cox Goodyear from the pocket. And this one's not going to be any score, and it's out of bounds left forward. Pocket. Yeah, no, we saw Jackie Avent take on Kieran Lovell, didn't he? And had a heap of it. 35 touches, Jackie Avent.
Underrated player, Jack Avent, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
my
done
word.
A lot of good jobs.
And after tonight, we head down to Windsor Park on Sunday, and Kieran Lovell will be heading up the highway to play against Launceston, Foz.
With Mackenzie Willis.
With Mackenzie Willis. The
debuted nicely last week.
Former Gold Coast Sun is back. Yeah, after his 14 days quarantine. Not much happening here. The ball's gone outside the defensive 50 for Launceston, and it's going to be a ball up a couple of metres in. Here's Seymour over the top to Holt. Holt looks up. Blackberry rises, can't take it. Wright's there, Alec Wright. Taken in the contest going again was Dylan Riley, and the umpire's going to ball it up. Another stoppage for Dave Gruber. What have we got? 10-4 inside 50s, lots of clearances.
9 apiece, so pretty close.
Yeah, 18 different ball ups. That's quite a few, Hilsey, for the quarter, especially on this oval. Just starting to get a little bit slippery though, isn't it? You just see that this conditions tonight, just a little bit slippery. Callow, good defensive work. Down to Ponting, inside. Here they go, they're away here. This is what they do well. Nankervis, just to the top of the 50. It's an ugly looking kick. Lasky clever over the top, looks for Bennett. Oh, there's a free, Hilsey says, but Miller Hodge gets away with it. Ball comes back to Rushton. He's been electric tonight down there as Jackie Rushton, and it's going to be a ball up. So Jack Rushton's his night, Foz. Nice and clean.
Yep. I think it's going to be the way to play tonight, isn't it? Going to get that ball in quickly into the 50.
Now, free kick's going to go against Withers. He took Jake Smith down over the neck, and you heard the umpire's whistle, and Jake Smith goes out and finds Miller, but he didn't. In fact, it was a good last hit there by Taylor Whitford, and the ball goes out of bounds again, right over in the railway wing side of the ground. So Miller, he was away, but they just couldn't find him after a good kick from Jake Smith. 3-1-19 North Launceston. Launceston 3 goals straight, 18. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, or you're viewing us on the live TSL stream.
Boundary throw in. McCulloch this time against Auckland. Auckland might have won that tap. Little kick out of congestion. Chance now for Seymour. Nowhere to go really. Goes close to the line. Finds Palfreyman, who just escorts it over. So another boundary throw in. So a little bit of sting has gone out of this game after a very fast start here. 6 goals kicked in about 15 minutes. But players just found it hard to get room here in this last stanza of play before quarter time. McCulloch wins the hit out. Ponting's in there, so is Cox Goodger. Both had good games last week, Ponting especially. So another ball up. So plenty of stoppages in this first quarter. Auckland wins it towards Seymour. Ball at ground level. And once again, I think we're going to see. No, Seymour gets it out nicely to Palfreyman. Pressured on the kick, but he gets it away. Front position, Callow. Shark though by Blackberry this way, that away. Releasing handball to Palfreyman. Big first quarter. Inside 50, he's going to go straight down the throat, though, of Nankervis, who takes the mark in the back pocket.
Yeah, Riley wanted a hit up, and he went long. Wasn't the best option. He finds Foon. Foon goes left, now goes back right. Whitford, we see him so often out on that railway wing. Comes back inboard by hand. That's a terrific handball.
Ooh.
Finding Rick DeSolder. Turnover. Harper, hit up, got him. Dakin, is it?
Yep.
Jared Dakin takes the mark off the turnover. Quick look at the player, and it was Jared Dakin outside his limit, Hilsey.
It's 5 metres further back from that last one, so...
Yeah, he's going to kick right on the 50 towards
Close to
May
siren
Park
time too.
end. Not much wind here tonight at all, so that's not going to take it into effect. Let's see what he's done. Playing an important role.
He's done a lot of work on his legs. He's got big legs, Dake. So
Dakes,
we'll back him in.
one of these players that didn't get a real crack at his under-18 year, was hoping to come back. There's the siren. He kicks from 50, it hovers, and it's going to just sneak in for a behind. No, out of bounds on the full. And that's going to be the quarter-time score. North Launceston 3-1-19. Launceston 3 straight goals, 18. The goal kickers for Launceston, Dylan Riley, Jared Dakin and Jake Hines. And for North Launceston, Thomas Donnelly, Jack Rushton and Jake Lasky.
Well, Hilsey, if it was a boxing match, you'd probably give that first round a tie.
I think you would. It was a great hit out. It was a great start to the game. I think Launceston, they made the most of their opportunities going forward. I feel like North Lonnie probably moved the ball better away from stoppage, whereas Launceston was a little bit more defensive in their ball movement, a little bit more stagnant, and looking to use the wings a little bit more. I think North know how to play this ground really well, and you can see elements of that. So it's whether or not they can just stick to that. They look like they want to use the corridor. They want to move the ball fast through there, whereas Lonnie have struggled to transition the ball out of D50.
And Mac, did we do the goal kickers?
Yes, mate, done the goal
Yep,
kickers.
no
Thanks
worries.
for listening.
No worries, I was a bit distracted here.
No, you're right. You've got
I've
the
got the
stats
stats here,
Dave
but
Gruber.
we might just take a short break here from the live stream and also City Park Radio. And when we come back, we'll have a look at the stats and more analysis from the first quarter. Score is North Launceston 19, Launceston 18.
Hi, Andrew Doyle here from the Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows Telstra stores. Whether it's sports in the lounge or music in the study, we've made changes for those who need Wi-Fi in every room. Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage with Telstra Smart Wi-Fi boosters for $12 per month on any month-to-month NBN plan. You'll enjoy a wider reaching connection throughout your home that the family will thank you for. So give your home internet a little leg up and visit the team today at your local Telstra store. Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Minimum cost $288 plus internet charges.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Running for president in 1968, Robert Kennedy said, "Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream things that never were and say, why not?"
And it's that very ethos that has seen Lions International become a global network of 1.4 million men and women in 200 countries, dedicated to the restoration of sight in the blind, the provision of disaster relief and humanitarian needs, and a commitment to creating opportunities within their local communities. But membership also comes with personal benefits, such as the learning of leadership and business skills, a sense of self-worth, and fostering what become lifelong friendships. To become a member of this wonderful organisation, get in touch today with your local Lions Club. Or for more information, go to lionsclubs.org.au.
Proud to be part of our community, City Park Radio.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League Football on City Park Radio.
Let's have a look at some stats, and thanks to Darren Lovell, who's just texted me the stats from Launceston here, and we'll get those in a sec. We might just do the team stats quickly first. To quarter time, the hit-outs, 18 to Launceston, 9 to North Launceston. The clearances, 11 to 10 Launceston's way, so pretty even there. Inside 50s, 11 to North Launceston, 6 to Launceston. Marks inside 50, 3 to the Blues, 2 to the Bombers, and free kicks. Only 4 free kicks in that first quarter, so 2 apiece there. And Mackie, you got some stats there from the Launceston stats guys.
Yeah, just the Launceston individuals. Joby Harper with 8, really good early, wasn't he, Mitch? Joby Harper with 8, lots of clearances. 3 marks. Pulverman with 6, Seymour with 5, Jake Smith with 4. Of course, down the back line now. And they always keep the stats of one person they're looking at, and Taylor Whitford's had 3. So once again, struggling against the Lonnie Blues, isn't he, Taylor Whitford?
Happy with that. Obviously a target player for Launceston.
We saw him there, though, that last one, didn't we? Taylor Whitford on that wing, and he comes straight back inside. We mentioned there during the break, Hillsy, that you mentioned about North Launceston look as though they know how they want to move the footy more.
Yeah, they probably haven't done it a heap, but you can see it's happened 3 or 4 times. They look, and everyone sort of sets up how they want to move the ball, and you can see players' options inside, and they're looking to do that. It hasn't come off all the time, but they've got a couple of scores from it, whereas I see potentially at the moment Launceston get the ball and are a little bit unsure about where they're going to take the footy. Do we go wide? Are we going to try and take a kick on here or not? So, yeah. But they've done well. It's a good game, a good start, and some key ball winners for Launceston doing really well.
Yeah, so very even style. I think North Launceston look dangerous going forward, don't they? Especially when they move the ball in quickly.
Yeah.
Definitely.
They've got. I mean, Dylan Riley though, he's been sublime. He kicked a goal himself. He also set up the one for Jake Hines, so he's an ever-present danger up there.
Yeah, he was really filthy with that last one over in front of the scoreboard. He wanted the hit-up lead. He had his opponent beat, Nankervis, and the ball went too far, and Nankervis took the intercept mark. So that's a great battle, Nankervis on Riley.
I've got one for you, boys.
Yeah.
Just a quick one before we move on.
Give us something.
So obviously Thorpe's not playing.
Yep.
We're unsure why. I don't want to make any comments there, but is it a better forward line without him? Is that?
Oh boy.
I'm not saying that. Are they functioning better? Not being so one-dimensional, or is that a huge statement to put out there, Marco?
Put it this way, the way I look at it, Mitch, being a fellow forward, is would the opposition be more nervous with Mitch Thorpe out there, with the opposition defence?
I would like to think they would be.
Oh, of course they would be.
Yep.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean,
well,
we
there we go. There we go.
Of course they would be. But maybe, even if he only played 5 or 7 minutes a quarter and just went on and stayed in the goal square, I'll tell you what, if I was a defender down there, a Rick DeSolder, or it might force a McDonnelly to play back, or, Zach Burt or someone like that has gone back, make him a little bit nervous. But, no, he's not playing. And but then, what's the value of him being off the ground as a coach?
Yeah, well, it might be more.
You did a lot of coaching and on-ground coaching.
Yep.
When you missed a few games through injury, or I don't think it was suspended ever. What's the differences there?
It's the hardest thing to do is to coach from being on the ground at this level and above, I would say. So in terms of having an impact from a coaching point of view, he's doing the right thing.
And North Launceston, of course, have great structures off the field, don't they?
They
in
do.
terms of their assistant coaches. Very experienced panel.
Organised.
Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Swords, Quadrant Mall, Kings Meadows and Brisbane Street Mall. Quarter number 2 getting underway on City Park Radio and the TSL live stream is Matthew McGee.
And isn't it great to see the Devonport youngster in Bain and Low straight into the first centre ball up. Lee, nice palm down in front of Pulfreman. Seymour, another clearance. Inside 50, Fletcher Seymour. Jake Hines takes front spot and takes the mark in front of Richter Solder. So Jake Hines now looks to off one step. Harper snaps, goals, good start, Launceston. I was about to say that Jake Hines actually missed Dylan Riley there, but it was Joby Harper who found his way down from the middle, and he's kicked a goal as Joby Harper.
Yeah, I'll just continue on the very agile, small, fast X-factor forward line. You've got Hines kicking to Riley and Harper intercepting. Like, it's dangerous, isn't it?
It is, my word. And Jake Hines, he's causing a few issues for Richter Solder there.
He is.
But if you don't go there, then what do you do? They've got Burt there as a defender. Maybe that could be a better matchup, but then he might be a little bit agile. Callow could be an option as well. Let's see what North Launceston do. They'll keep an eye on it. Lee and Auckland. Here's Ponting, busts in, good tackle, youngster in Holt, and holds up Ponting. And the crowd enjoyed that one. And it's only gone about a couple of metres forward of Launceston's end of the ground. They go towards the city end of the ground. They're 4 goals straight, 24. North Launceston 3-1-19. Holt from the ball up. Ball's going Launceston's way. Davies is tackled by Holt.
Great tackle.
Good tackle. And the ball's now right in between the centre square and the 50-metre line. Ball up, thrown up here on this dewy night. Here it goes down. Whitford come across from his wing. Skittles a lot. Blackberry clean at his feet. Taken in the tackle, and it goes forward again. So thank you for joining us here on City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5 for this round 8 action. Those of you listening on the live stream, we are also on part of the radio. So at times we, you might say, over-commentate the game, but we've got to let our radio listeners know what's happening. And what's happening at the moment is it's Withers to Lasky on the railway wing. Ball comes inside to Harper. He looks for Seymour. They go the 1-2. Scrappy kick forward, but it comes off to Pulfreman. So the umpire now pays. I didn't think he thought it was 15. Pulfreman looks inboard. Nothing on. He's got blokes on his left. One of them is Holt. So Grant Holt takes the ball.
Slow build up again, isn't it?
Yeah, very methodical. Holt looks for Alec Wright. Can't take the mark. Miller's there, defensive forward, good tackle. That's what he's there for. Umpire circles and says holding the footy. So well done. One of the youngsters there in Miller. Tyson Miller it is. Don't know which one's going to get paid it. It's going to be the bigger of the two, and it's Auckland, Timmy Auckland, one of Mitchell's proteges. So Timmy Auckland, good to see from the big ruckman Hillsey.
Yeah, following up, I like it.
Let's see what the kick's like. Top of the square. Auckland, Riley flies. Oh! Casey Brown! Pushing there's a letdown. Casey Brown flew, but he's pushed Callow in the back. Riley did, in fact. And it's going to be a free kick to Jackson Callow. We've seen him play forward a lot of the year and experimented down back. Started down back tonight. Callow, good use by foot. He goes to Walsh.
Walsh takes the mark inside defensive 50. He's got a short option in Ponting. Right on the boundary line. Left half back. Early goal to Launceston this second quarter. So he kicks up the wing. Close to the boundary line. Flying high there was Withers. Off hands. Out of bounds. Bit of push and shove. As the boundary throwing will take place. We're about 70 metres around from Launceston's goal. They've had the 2 inside 50s this quarter so far through the first 4 minutes. Nice boundary throw in by the boundary umpire. Auckland wrestles his opponent off it. Wins the tap. Egger, though, on the bottom of the contest in a wrestle. Yeah, another ball up. 4 straight, 24 Launceston. The Bombers 19. Windsor Park on Sunday for Launceston versus the Tigers. Tigers, of course, an 8-day break. Launceston just a 4 days. As Ponting tumbles a punt up into the centre of the ground. Taken there by Rushton. Plays on. Pressured kick. Not great. Into space. Leading the race to the ball here is Tyrrell. He overruns it. Lasky's there, but in the follow-up, doing a good job is Hodge. He gets a handball back to Tyrrell, who decides to kick off the ground. Not a bad option. And it's thumped out of bounds. Centre wing on the railway wing side of UTAS Stadium. Looking at picture here tonight. Of course, not a lot of footy on it this season so far. And the surface was relayed into last year's season. It's looking very, very good.
You'd have to say it's come back well, David.
Beautiful. Boundary throw in. Auckland. Over the back, though, to Whitford, who contorts, trying to pretend he's trying to get rid of the ball. And there'll be another ball up on the far side. 5 minutes gone. The Bombers 19, Launceston 24.
So North Launceston trailed by 5 points. Launceston got them earlier in the year, round 2 down at Windsor Park. It's a real battle here tonight. North Launceston want to holding the footy and they're going to get it. And it's going to be a free kick as they untangle. Could be the other ruckman, this time Alex Lee. So Alex Lee gets the hold in the footy. Cox Goodger runs around the back, looks to give it to him, doesn't. Goes the other way. Alex Lee says, I'm better kick than you. Looks for Whitford in front of the scoreboard. Well done out there by the Launceston defender in house. Good pick up, Fletcher Seymour. They're those little things. Boyd, scrappy kick forward, and it goes and finds Alex Lee, and they start again. Alex Lee, scrubby kick, terrible turnover. Seymour, Harper. There's that scrubby kick we talk about again. Ilsey, not great.
Nope.
And good defensive mark, Jackson Callow. Good start from Callow in the back line. Couple of kicks there, couple of marks. Hits up and finds Cox Goodger. So Cox Goodger playing a lot more midfield this year and tonight, especially. Hasn't been forward much. Let's look for him later on. Lee, another turnover. Why would Cox Goodger give the ball to Alex Lee, Mitchell Hills?
That's poor.
Cox Goodger, one of the best kicks in the league, and he gives it to a ruckman. This is now from Miller Hodge, and there's another turnover. Goes to Whitford. So not a great couple of minutes of play. Whitford turns it over, and this time it's Isaac Chugg.
Hold up, fellas. What's
Defensive
going on?
50. Let's see what Chugg can do. He hits up and finds Tyson Miller. So Miller, he's going to swing it now. Oh dear, another turnover. Lasky dives and 2 fist pump it. Not great footy, a little bit slippery. Good tackle back there, Jake Lasky. Top of the 50. Umpire says, give it to me, Dave Moore.
Jack Tuttle caught in the tackle. Series of turnovers, so that will boost the turnover stats.
Didn't realise Alex Lee was the designated kicker, Mitch.
Yeah, it was a strange
Too many
move.
kicks for the ruckman.
One last week.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to get his stats up.
He looks tired.
As now it's out to Egger. Egger short kick to Whitford. Kick towards Donnelly. Well done, Jake Smith in the contest, but Donnelly has good recovery. Picks it up. He's tackled by House. And he's going to be penalised. Holding the ball. Good tackle there, Jamison House.
I don't want to bring up the Alex Lee stats because I heard a whisper that City Park Radio gave him 3 votes last week.
Yes, he won 31 hit-outs. He was one of the best on the grounders.
With 1 kick.
Doesn't matter. JB Harper.
Just in case Max
inside
is listening.
defensive 50. Up
Maxie.
towards the wing.
Sure
Taken
job
by
tonight.
Richter Salter. Now to Cox Goodger. Cox Goodger centres the ball. Top of the goal square. Donnelly can't quite take it. Well done, Tuthill. Out to Jacob Boyd, who tries to clear the area, but will only find Davies, who's at the front edge of the centre square. Beautiful pass from Davies. Finds Ponting. Possibly too far out. Crowded 50 ahead.
This bloke had 35.
As kicks now,
get a vote.
Mark Walsh towards the top of the goal square. Thumped away. That's going to dribble out of bounds it. No, getting there first was Dan Withers, but he does take the ball over.
Yep.
Right half forward, so it's North Launceston 19, Launceston 24.
It's your job tonight, Mitch Hills, the 3-2-1. Our listeners
over it,
hang
mate.
on it.
I know
They
they
hang
do.
on their 3-2s and 1s. So let's see what you can come up with tonight. Boundary throw in. North Launceston forward line, McCulloch. Isaac Chugg said that don't argue, and he's spilt the ball. And it's going to be a holding the footy. It's going to go to Whitford. So Isaac Chugg put the arm out to do the don't argue, and the ball's spilt out in the tackle. Or
Can't always do that in the seniors.
he's had
Late in
his
the
chance.
D-League.
He had his chance, didn't he? And it's going to be a free kick. He's going to kick it from in front of the scoreboard. About 15 metres in from the boundary is Taylor Whitford. 35 metres out from goal by the time he kicks. So the coach of North Launceston, the superstar of North Launceston, Taylor Whitford, little skip, comes in now. Deliberate approach, leans back. Goal umpire doesn't move. That is a Taylor Whitford beauty. And Taylor Whitford gets them underway in the second quarter, North Launceston. They're 4-1-25, and they're going to lead Launceston 4 straight 24.
And they needed that one, Hillsy, because the Blues had a good patch there at the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, series of errors, but they did have the best of the play there. Ollie Sanders has got a lot of oil on his arms, I've noticed. He's looking in good shape this year, Mac. Have you noticed that at all?
I was a bit worried about him there before on half forward. He didn't quite get across the ground, but if he's got oily arms, I'm happy.
He's got oil on the arms, and that's all I care
I
about.
noticed
mate.
at school today he had a little moustache growing too, did Ollie Sanders? I don't know what's
tickler,
going on
little
there.
Tickler, I think it's he's doing well. So he's
No,
looking good.
needs a little shave when he gets back to school tomorrow, does Ollie Sanders.
We'll see how we go.
All right, here we go. Auckland up against Lee. Comes down the front. Looks here for Taylor. Bursts out of the pack. Inside 50. Dakin on Foon. Well done, Dakin. Gets it down in front of Alec Wright. Callow tackles. Here's Dakin again. Got to pick the ball up as Foon is circling. And now it's tucked underneath him. Umpire says, give it to me. So good centre clearances, Grooves. What are the clearances for the quarter? 4-2 North Launceston's way. So North Launceston, they're just on top there at the moment. Alex Lee, good battle. He's going to get the palm down. Ponting again, another clearance to Ponting. Here's Denellen. Haven't called him today. Plays an important role. Foon hacks it forward. Withers over the top. Bennett can't take it. There's Sanders with those oily arms. Here's Casey Brown inside 50. And it's only gone as far. No mark. The umpire had a look there. It was Walsh. He goes by hand and finds Cox Goodger.
Cox Goodger, kick smothered. Gets it back again though. Thinks about the handball. Then goes short and spots up Dan Withers. Defensive side of the centre square. Dan Withers sums up his options. Goes wide. Out here looking for Tom Donnelly. Good defence there from Jamison House. He might win the ball in the follow-up. Can't pick it up. Players slipping and sliding. Donnelly caught with the ball. Gets the handball, but it was over the boundary line before Egger could kick it forward. So it'll be a boundary throw in, right half forward. It's a tight contest. Hasn't been more than a goal in it all night so far. We're about 11 and a half minutes in Wednesday night footy. We've got 3 Wednesday night games coming up in the next few weeks as we get to sneak that round in between other rounds. So great for the comp.
Haven't got many footy scores to go through tonight, Foz. We might have to go back through the Sandown races today or something. Of course, bet responsibly. But interesting, we don't have much to update apart from the D-League score.
We'll get another score
Fozzie
there
will
in a
bring
minute.
you in a moment.
As it's loose ball on the wing. Might have had his legs taken from under him there, Sanders, but play on. And now it's holding the ball.
St Pat's seconds versus Scotch.
St Pat's seconds got up over Scotch tonight. They did. St Pat's and Scotch played lots of sports tonight up at St Pat's. Boys and girls soccer. Well done, the St Pat's girls won their first game of soccer tonight.
Cox
Scotch 1-0.
Sorry, Makers Cox Goodger towards half forward. Taylor Whitford thumps it forward. Into the forward pocket, Donnelly. Handball's nicely now to Egg. He's right on the boundary line. Gets it over to Rushton. Rushton, little snap for goal. Across the face this time. Out of bounds on the full. Relieving free kick to Launceston in the back pocket. And the Blues trail by a point 12 and a half minutes into the second quarter.
Ryan Tyrrell decided to play 2020 without the long sleeves, Ryan Tyrrell. He's plays his job. Nice left foot kick. Miller Hodge. So these are these youngsters. They're only still, 19, 20 years of age, these young lads. And Boyd is there as well. He's a youngster, as is Tutil. They've really built their defence on those youngsters. Oh, he flies there to Dakin. Denellen, quick snap. Callow, good hands. Over the top to Nankervis, too slow. Jay Blackberry sets on him. Dakin goes to play on, and he does.
Give it back to Blackberry.
He finds Pulframan, and it goes out of bounds. Heels is frustrated. Tell us about it, Mitch.
Well, you wouldn't have played on there. Give it back to Blackberry. Hit a target inside 50.
Well, he had a defender right up his backside, didn't he? And Dakin probably didn't need to do it. And as you said, if Blackberry gets it on centre wing, they reset, and he hits up Riley on the lead, doesn't he?
That's right.
Auckland, palm down in front of Lee. Ponting again. Groobs, I'd love you to know how many of those clearances have been his. Put a little circle around him if you don't mind. Ponting from now on. He's a gun. Ball comes out in front of us. It's going to go out of bounds. Handle that one, Groobs. A little circle. He can do it. He's the best in the business, Dave Gruber. And he travels the highway. Fozzie and Groobs, they travel, they go. He's here tonight, Groobs. He'll be back there on Sunday on the balcony. Can't wait for that one. Launceston versus Kingborough. And let's see if Launceston can get through tonight first. There's those oily arms of Sanders. Comes down in, out of Ponting. Another clearance. Cox Goodger. He fakes it. Left foot. Goes down and long. Giving a shove there was the big fella in McCulloch. Here's Bain and Low, the little fella from Devonport. It's going to land. It's going to break. And it's going to go out of bounds. Not a bad result, North Launceston. They'd prefer that. Another forward line stoppage. Let's look what happens here now, Hillsy. Forward line stoppage, North Launceston. What are they trying to do?
Well, I reckon they're trying to get someone moved through the stoppies. Get a Harper or something like that on the move.
North
Riley.
Launceston, yeah. Cox Goodger. Sanders is there on the move, as Hilsey said. Here's Cox Goodger, could have been taken high. Umpire saw it, and it's against Fletcher Seymour. Free kick. Bradley Cox Goodger going to be right behind it. This will take North Launceston to 5 goals if he can kick it. It's in this spot. And he's a terrific kick for goal, Cox Goodger. He's kicked 7 for the season.
Do you look at Callow and Donnelly swapping? It's how well do you think Callow's being utilised down back? Is it a development thing? Is it?
Yeah, look, he's been okay when the ball's gone down there. He's won his one-on-ones.
Yeah.
Cox Goodger approaches, starts at left side, stays there and hits the post. Does Cox Goodger. So North Launceston 4-2-26. Launceston 4 straight 24. Well, we saw Callow kick 3 down at Windsor Park. So he's got the runs on the board against Launceston. Another match-up for them. But, yeah, no, that could be the swing, couldn't it? Definitely Donnelly and Callow.
Worth having a look at.
Jake Smith kicks it long out of defence. Big fly there from Richter Solder. Over the back, here is Callow. Picks it up nicely. Here's the voice in Rushton. Rushton on the left. Kicks it towards the boundary line. Cox Goodger tries to rein it in. And a bit of a tussle there with Casey Brown. The pleasantries exchanged as Cox Goodger comes off for a spell. And Ponting comes back onto the ground. So no injuries apparent yet in this game thus far. As the boundary throw in falls a bit short. Taken there by Davies. Handball shark by Callow. Gives it off to Rushton, who fumbles. He's caught by the arm. He breaks loose. Jeez, he takes on another tackle. Jackie Rushton. He's a bit ambitious there.
Very ambitious.
He got out of one tackle and went straight into Palfreyman, who's one of the best tacklers in the business. Brody, the ex-Western Storm player. As he switches the ball now to Miller Hodge. He's got on a further switch over there, I think, in Chug, but he decides not to take it. He gets well back on the mark. He'll be invited to play on in a moment. He is now as the whistle blows. He goes past the 50-metre line, kicks to the wing. Big flyers wanted here. Punched down by Auckland. Seymour gives it to Nellen, who's under all sorts of pressure. Tackled by Burt. Seymour's got it. Handballs to nobody in particular. Nice tap over now to Dakin. Dakin inside 50. One-on-one contests here. And Jake Hines up against... That was Richter Soto who sees the ball over the boundary line.
They've just got to get the ball inside 50 more, don't they, Launceston? What are they for Dave Gruber?
It's, let me see, North Launceston 6-5 this quarter.
So they've got it in there early, I think they were probably early.
Struggled lately.
So the boundary throw in, dangerous position here for North Launceston. There's a Janellen might have been tackled without it. Dakin gets pushed off the kick. He does get it behind. So one behind Launceston. That's their first of the night. 4-1-25. They trail North Launceston 4-2-26. City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5, bringing all the TSL footy this year. And we're also on the TSL live stream. Here's Macca.
Walsh kicks out well beyond 50. Up they fly. Lee taps it down North Launceston's way. Richter Solder. Great battle with Hines. Launceston call for a out of bounds, but the umpire says don't be silly, and we're going to throw it in. So just here in front of the commentary position, UTAS Stadium. North Launceston by a point. Intriguing battle. It could come down to those fresh legs in the second half, Hilsey.
It's going to be a factor, I think.
Yeah. Unopposed there in the ruck was Auckland. Comes down the front. Fozzie wants a free kick to Jackie Rushton. Not going to happen.
No, I thought it was the other way, actually.
Other way.
He was driving the head into the ground there of young Paul
There we
Finley.
go.
Very fair, Dave.
Lee, Auckland. Seymour, beset upon. Ponting. He's beset upon. Here goes Taylor. Play on advantage. Blackberry sets. Can't quite get there. And Callow's away.
Nice.
Callow finds Withers. He read that well, did Jackson Callow.
Look at Holt go.
Here's Withers. He goes inside 50 and they've got a man up and gone. I think Jake Smith might have done a hamstring. And he hits up Tommy Bennett there. So they're one short. Jake Smith looks despondent. He's coming straight to the bench. Mitchell's keep an eye on it as Tom Bennett's going to have a kick for goal. That kick just went over the top of the fingertips at this end of the ground of Blackberry. And Callow read it better and he was away. And then they opened up on the turnover. And Tom Bennett's going to have a go at him.
It was young Sharon Egger with the assist there, Macca, with a nice little kick.
It was a kick. I was watching. They were one short. Jake Smith doesn't look happy. Bennett lays back and kicks it. Does big Tommy Bennett. That's their second for the quarter.
That's that modern kick going inside 50. It's the most important kick in the game at the moment. If you go too fat with it and you miss it, it opens you up to go down the other end. It's exactly what happens.
That's why they tend to play narrow
skinny.
side, don't they?
Try and go narrow, try and go really skinny. A lot of people don't understand that.
Who was it that kicked it? Take me back there, kicked to Blackberry, but I can't remember who it was. But Taylor.
Brendan Taylor.
Took the advantage. Yeah, Brendan Taylor took the advantage. Just had to spear it a little bit lower. Blackberry just misread it. And good reading in defence by Callow. And North Launceston have kicked 5. They're 5-2-32. They did Launceston 4-1-25. Want to be ticked over 19.5 minutes.
Big few minutes leading up to half time. And the Blues still well in it, of course. Only 7 points the margin. But a goal here either way could be vital in the wash-up. As a kick out of the centre comes there from Bain and Lowe. Ponting tries to pick it up. He's piled on by a couple of Blues players. There'll be a ball up, attacking side of the centre. So Tommy Bennett, it hasn't been in the best of form this year, but that's a pretty important goal, close to half-time. Harper hacks it out of the contest towards half-forward. Jackie Avent was held there by Blackberry, and he'll take the free kick. So Avent, highly rated by Zane Littlejohn, after that big game recently against Kieran Lovell. Davies now from left half back. And a clash here between Boyd and Bennett. Bennett does well, knocks the ball out of play. So the Blues down 7 points. They kicked the first goal of the second quarter. But North Launceston have met that challenge with the last 2.
You think Lonnie probably need a steady here going into the break?
Definitely. I was just thinking that myself, Mitch. If they get another one here and then go in at half-time a couple down, North can come out and kick the first, then it really opens up.
Boundary throwing. McCulloch gets the tap out. Important contest here. Foon picks it up. Gets the ball away. Slight fumble there by McCulloch. Licks Denellen in. Close handball there towards Casey Brown, who's going nowhere. So another ball up. Been a lot of stoppages tonight. Greasy conditions. So hit out there by McCulloch. Straight to Brown, who tries to break a tackle. Casey Brown, you're in trouble. Holding the ball.
Tackling pressure's been really good, North Launceston, this quarter, Mitch.
Yeah, they have been really lifted in that area.
The coach, Whitford, inside 50. Who can take a mark? Oh, gee, that's nearly a mark there towards Jake Lasky. He's paid it.
Yeah, it's a mark.
Won't be able to play on from the mark, of course. So Jake Lasky will go back right in the dying minutes of the second quarter. Chance for his second.
That would have been better if it wasn't paid and had been play on, because they were away out the back through Egger.
It was a fine grab by Lasky.
Contested mark, wasn't it? Probably not his strongest suit, but he did well there.
He was a little whippet back in high school days, knee high to a grasshopper, and he just shot up sort of after he left school. And he's another that X factor now, isn't he, North Launceston?
Yep. So he's 40 out, 45-degree angle, left-hand side, right in front of us here in our commentary position. Jake Lasky for his second. Oh, he fashions it beautifully inside the left-hand goalpost. And there's the sign. What a crucial goal that is.
It's a killer.
It's
right on half-time.
Talking about.
It's 2 goals to Jake Lasky. He's the leading goal kicker in the game. And the 6th goal there for North Launceston, 6-2-38. Leading the Blues 4-1-25. So in that quarter, North Launceston kicked 3 goals, 2. Launceston kicked just the 1 straight goal. So arm wrestle, Hilsey, but in the wash-up, North Launceston go in with a handy lead at half-time.
How many times have we said that in the past?
Yeah,
I just think that the scoring really dried up there. The style of play got very scrappy, maybe due to the conditions a little bit. But both teams were going hard at it. But it just seems like North have that sort of set up behind the ball, and Launceston rushing a lot of quick kicks away from stoppage and turning it over a little bit too much, and just a couple of fundamental errors. That just had to be a spoil on Lasky. That's a strong punch away, and that doesn't happen. That's a nail in the coffin towards losing the game, unfortunately.
Things don't look good for Jake Smith either.
Yep.
He's walked off the bench. I reckon he's done a hamstring or some sort of lower muscular leg, calf or a hamstring, probably a hamstring.
He signalled it early, didn't he?
He plays that sort of back. He really plays as a centre-half back, undersized and whatever. Now, the goal kickers, we better go through them. For North Launceston, as Foz said, Jake Lasky leading goal kicker. He's kicked 2. 1 to Rushton, 1 to Donnelly, 1 to Bennett and 1 to Whitford. Both Whitford and Bennett also kicking goals in that quarter. And for Launceston, 1 to Hines, 1 to Dakin, 1 to Riley, and Joby Harper, an early one in that quarter for Launceston. He's the only goal scorer for the Launceston Blues in the second quarter.
Don't go anywhere at half-time. We're going to have a chat in a moment to Jeremy Webley, the coach of the Clarence Roos, after a great first half of the season, finding themselves in the top 4. But we'll take a short break. The score here at half-time, 6-2-38. North Launceston 4-1-25. Back with you in just a moment.
Hi, Andrew Doyle here from the Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows Telstra stores. Whether it's sports in the lounge or music in the study, we've made changes for those who need Wi-Fi in every room. Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage with Telstra Smart Wi-Fi boosters for $12 per month on any month-to-month NBN plan. You'll enjoy a wider reaching connection throughout your home that the family will thank you for. So give your home internet a little leg up and visit the team today at your local Telstra store. Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Minimum cost $288 plus internet charges.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
It's a very simple idea. The annual can drive organised by Zest and the Launceston Benevolent Society. During this month, when you go shopping, purchase a few more cans and packs of non-perishable food and drop them off at City Park Radio. And you'll be helping to put some food on the table for people who are doing it tough. City Park Radio is accepting your cans and packets during our office hours, Monday to Friday, 9:30am to 3pm. If you fill our box, we'll get another one, and another one, and we'll keep the boxes coming until September 7th. Happy to help our local community with the 2020 Can Drive at City Park Radio.
The selection of Lazy Boy electric lift recliners at King's Furniture is impressive. These chairs look fabulous, and the clever reclining and tilting mechanisms operated by a simple press of a button give real comfort. Available in fabric and soft as butter leather, the Lazy Boy electric recliners at King's are the best. King's is no ordinary furniture store, so if you're serious about comfort, come and see us. Our electric recliners are on sale now. King's Furniture, 274 Hobart Road, open all weekend, and a sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football, on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium. It's Wednesday night footy. It's a great initiative here in the TSL in 2020. We've got a couple of other games coming up Wednesday nights in the future weeks in the TSL. So at halftime, 6-2-38, North Launceston 4-1-25. 2 goals to Lasky, singles to Donnelly, Rushton, Bennett, for North Launceston, and for Launceston, a goal apiece to Riley, Dakin, Hines and Harper. Well, at about the halfway mark of the season, and an interesting season it's been in the TSL, and one of the big improvers has been the Clarence Football Club. The Roos playing out of Richmond, and the massive improvement from the start of the season right through to last week. A good win over North Hobart. And it's with great pleasure we welcome to City Park Radio and the TSL live stream the coach of the Clarence Footy Club, Jeremy Webberley. Good evening, Jez.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
No worries, are you watching the game?
I actually caught the last 10 minutes. I just put my daughter to bed and jumped on the stream and had a look at the last 10 minutes. So looks like quite a contested game, and the Jews set in at Launceston as it does, and it looks like we're in for a cracker. North Lonnie obviously got the last couple of goals and have jumped ahead as they do so many times, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty tight for a long way tonight.
Now, Jeremy, expectations before the season, it was a disrupted pre-season for Clarence, not being able to use Blunston Arena and having to move to Richmond. And perhaps expectations outside the footy club were a bit low. Certainly they weren't inside the footy club, but you must be really impressed with the start to the year.
Yeah, look, I suppose it was a really challenging time. Like we did lose Blunston, and thankfully we got out to Richmond, and thanks to the Richmond Footy Club for having us and the council working with us to get us out there. And we've sort of made it our second home now, and the boys are loving it out there. Yeah, it's I suppose from the outside looking in, if you were I suppose not a supporter or weren't inside the Clarence Sanctum, you probably thought that we were going to struggle. I think having access to the best under-18s in the state has been really beneficial for us. We obviously lost, Tim Auckland late in the pre-season. He went over to the mainland, and now he's, funny enough, back playing for Launceston and playing really well. And obviously Jake Cox chose to retire, so we probably lost a couple of one, our key recruit, and two, probably our key player. But, we've replaced those guys with the young Devils players from the under-18s, and they've sort of been a real blessing in disguise. They're playing some great footy, and I think what they've also done is they've brought a heap of excitement to the older players, and I think they've really jumped on the back of that. And
an influential player last week who's been in good form was Ethan Jackson.
Yeah, look, Ethan played some really good footy last year. He's probably a little bit up and down throughout last year, but I think this year he's become, really a lot more consistent. He was in the Devils program last year, was in and out of that a little bit. he connected really well with our group. He's like a little, really likeable character within our group. And I think this year, just having a full pre-season with the playing group, and he's always had, really good talent. And it was only going to take, a matter of time before he turned it on at TSL level on a consistent basis, and he's certainly done that this year.
Jez, my co-commentators tonight are Matthew McGee and Mitch Hill, so I'll pass over to them for some questions.
No worries.
Yeah, Jez, you talk about talent, and a couple on your list there, in particular Ollie Davis and Sam Banks. I saw them play up at St Pat's the other week for GYC, and they're good young players, aren't they?
Yeah, look, they're super. Ollie's obviously had an outstanding under-17 carnival last year as a bottom major. He's going to be right in the draft mix this year. It's probably a little bit unfortunate that, the Devils program was closed down due to COVID, but, he's adapted really well to senior footy. He's only played the 7 senior games. I think he averages, around 20 possessions. He's the best tackler, best 1%er at our club. So, he's a super competitive kid, and that's what he brings on a Saturday. And as I said, he's one of the linchpins around those guys that have really lifted our club forward. So hopefully continue that trend, and he gets drafted at the end of the year, which would be a great result for him. And Sammy's obviously, he's only 17 this year, or turned 17 this year. I think he might have turned it the other day. But yeah, look, he's a silky smooth mover. And he's going to be, I reckon he can be really high up the draft order. I know some clubs are, pretty keen on him already, but he's got another 12 months of development. Again, he played a couple of senior games last year, but this year, especially the last month, I just reckon he's really taken off. So yeah, they're two outstanding players for us. And young Baker Smith and Darcy Gardner have been in the team the last 2 weeks, and they've been really good as well.
And Jeremy, obviously, you've been over the Big Island, drafted to Richmond, of course. And do you personally spend much time with those boys, talking to them about the future, or do you just let them play their footy and what will be will be? How much time do you spend actually, talking about that AFL stuff?
Probably not too much. No. Look, I just reckon, there's enough external pressure on them as it is, and I think the main thing for our group, especially this year, is making sure we just enjoy the game and enjoy it for what it is. Like, it was looking like there for a while that we weren't going to be able to play footy due to COVID, and we've been lucky enough to get 12 games in, and hopefully some finals action if we can continue winning games and we can continue being really consistent with our form. But no, not necessarily. Probably touch base with them every now and again. But it's more about just, how can they, what they're doing well, how can they improve their game. The draft thing will happen,
yep.
If they're doing those, if they're playing some good footy and putting their best foot forward. But yeah, I think if you talk about that a little bit too much, it's just adding more pressure to them. Like, they're learning senior footy. As I said, they're both only played, under 10 games. So they've got enough pressure to perform at senior level, let alone worry about the draft.
Definitely, and I think you hit the nail on the head there. The enjoyment. These are only 17 and 18-year-old kids, and to enjoy their footy and obviously have some success with Clarence will make them play better footy. I'll hand you over to one of the old ruckman of the TSL in Mitch Hills. Mitch, what have you got for Jez?
Hey, Jez, how you going, mate? Good to chat to you.
Yes, I'm good.
I'm just interested to get your thoughts, mate, on the standard of the TSL this year and in the last couple of years, and how do you see it tracking versus when you got drafted and you've come back and you've done a few years coaching and you see the talent coming through. You're basing your side now around some really young players. Where do you see the comp and how it's tracking?
Yeah, look, I think no doubt the comp's got younger. Does that mean the standards has dropped? Yes and no. I think some areas of the game now are probably a lot better off than when I first started. Just because the competition's young doesn't mean that the talent's not there, and doesn't mean they're fit, and doesn't mean they're playing a really, modern AFL-esque game, if you like. I think the game's come a long way, and I think the standard of coaching in the competition's really high. You can see there tonight, 2 really strong teams, contested ball teams, great defence. There's a lot of AFL stuff that's being played now, so I think the game style's improved a hell of a lot. Yes, the age demographic of each club has changed a little bit. Like, I'm not sure what North Launceston's would have been over the past couple of years to what Clarence's was in 9 and 10, but I'd imagine that it's a fair bit younger. However, there's just as much talent in North Launceston as what there was Clarence in 2009 and 10. It's probably just not that experienced talent, and the talent isn't a household name. So if you run through the Clarence, Thurley and Gapin and Payne and Sharman and Blight and those guys, and you run through, someone like, say, a Clarence, for instance, Banks, Davis, Darcy Gardner, Baker Smith, Noah Holmes,
some handy names.
Ethan Jackson, Keegan Wiley, James Holmes, all those guys are going to be household names in a few years. It's just that the demographic of the competition's got a little bit younger. So, look, I think the standard's still really, really good. Everyone's keen to pot it all the time, but I think if you want to come and have a look at it, and not just watch it on the stream, because sometimes that can give you a little bit of false hope. Come and actually watch the game live, and then go back and watch the lower level, and I think you'll be surprised at how big the difference is.
Spot on.
Jez, there's been a lot of movement this week out of AFL Head House in Melbourne, and obviously that's filtered down to Tasmania, a lot of it to do with the COVID situation. Brett Stubbs has gone pretty hard in the Mercury today about the leadership of AFL Tasmania, and that the headline is Tassie Footy's going nowhere fast. I'm just interested in your personal opinion on that, and where you see not just the TSL, but if you had a crystal ball and you had a perfect situation, where would you see Tassie Footy being next year, in the next 5 years, in the next decade? Is there an answer?
Hard questions, yes. Hard questions.
And Stubbs is listening to this, so it'll be the Mercury tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think you
give us a headline.
The definition from one paragraph. Look, I think the biggest thing facing Tassie Footy right now, and we can look at the top and what does the Devils program look like, what does the TSL look like, should we have a VFL team, should we have an AFL team, and whatever your views are, there's probably different views pending who you are, but the reality is that I think we have to fix the base before we worry about the top. Like I look at teams, junior teams across the south of the state, and that's probably where I spend the most time. Is that every year numbers are dwindling and declining, especially through those age groups from sort of under 12 to under 16. I reckon underneath that's okay, but we tend to lose a lot of kids once they sort of hit that 12 to 16 age bracket. So I'd be sort of looking at a different structure within that. I think the under 17 and under 19 concept with the Devils is a really positive one. If I was the AFL, I'd actually have kids getting drafted at 19 years of age. One is they can get their most important years of schooling out of the way and focus on that as an 18-year-old, and obviously get their licence and do those things, live life a little bit. Then they can come back and really focus on footy when they're 19 years of age. And I'd also align the STJFL and leagues underneath that with 17 and 19. So play under, 10s, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then I'd have an under 19 competition. I just think one is that keeps them at a junior level or with their mates for longer periods of time. Obviously, the highly talented players, they'd step up into, the development or senior programs, or they'd be away with their state. But I think that would keep them at junior levels for longer periods of time before they step into the senior club. Like we have guys at Sam Banks, for instance, but there's a number of guys around his age that haven't played senior footy yet. They're 20 years old. They've been in our senior club for 4 years. So by the time they get to 22, they've probably had enough of TSL footy, when really they should be hitting their prime then. So I think holding them back a little bit, keeping them with their mates, especially if they're not super talented and just playing for the enjoyment of footy, that would keep them around playing footy for longer. It'd make the TSL stronger, change that age demographic, obviously help the SFL, the old scholars, and obviously the MTFO and competitions like that, because there'd be more participants for longer periods of time, and they'd be playing well into their late 20s. So there are a couple of things. So the first thing I'd do, as I said, is probably have a look at what's going on underneath first. Make sure that our kids are starting at Auskick, but they're continuing all the way to their 18, 19. And then there's obviously a dropout, as I said, between 12 and 16 or 12 and 18. So I'd be having a look at the structure and how we do things there. And then trying to mirror the Devil stuff, because as I said, I think the 17 and 19 age groups are a really good one. And then I think that would fix the problem at the top of the tree. And if that happens to be VFL, an AFL team, TSL, whatever it looks like, I think then we can make more informed decisions, where at the moment I don't think what we do at the top, because it won't actually affect anything, but just to continue to decline because of what's coming underneath.
I think that's a brilliant answer, Jez.
Fantastic.
This guy, unbelievable.
Is there a job down there at head office he can take? No, look, we're all school teachers here, and we obviously deal with that 12 to 16 age group every day at school. And I think one of the things too maybe is to harness those school kids a little bit more, because the parents now just really struggle to get kids to club footy on weekends. They work Saturdays. They have a lot more working hours, and I think if it's a little bit more pumped into the schools and school programs, then you're going to harness even more kids, which will actually end up at your club. I think that's definitely an answer in that 12 to 16 age group as well.
Yeah, I agree, and I think and also I've seen it down south a fair bit, is talented kids getting dragged into high-level programs from an early age, say under 12 for a kid potentially like Sam Banks or Ollie Davis. Sam was at Sorrel. I'm pretty sure he came from Sorrel.
That's right.
He left Sorrel because he had to come to a TSL club. Well, now Sorrel doesn't actually have an age group where Sam was. So I think moving the magnets around a little bit with the talent programs can sometimes really hurt community footy and the numbers within community footy. Does that hurt if it's schooling? Potentially it doesn't, so you don't get that concept within the club. I'm a big fan of school footy. Not too much at the moment because Blair Brownless takes all
Blair Brown. You got too many good ones.
Second Wednesday. But,
well, we're happy for them to play at Clarence in a couple of weeks.
Got a role to play.
Jez, we've got to go because the umpires are out and the players are out. We're about to get underway.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks very much for joining us on City Park Radio, and all the best for the rest of the season. Cheers. That's Jeremy Webley, coach of the Clarence Footy Club. Really impressive.
He's impressive.
His comments.
I know in the past, he's probably put up his hand for some of those talent development jobs at head office, Hilsey, and what I heard there, he's very switched on.
He should have given it to him. What a gun.
No, very switched on. And look, we've spoken to many people about that footy, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Get that 12 to 16 year age group right, and you're underway.
Come on, Fozzie.
Well, speaking about being underway, we're about underway here at UTAS Stadium. North Launceston 6-2-38, Launceston 4-1-25. Third quarter action as it's taken there by Harper. He's tackled immediately. He's not going to emerge from the contest. Yes, it is. Little kick forward there by Auckland. Now it's won by Whitford. Another short kick. Tyrrell boots it forward. Luxor Fortune. It's right on the chest. He probably has to lift. He had a very quiet first half. Alec Wright kicks towards the top of the goal square. Player slips over and allows Callow to take an easier mark. In fact, it's Rick DeSolder, beg your pardon, has taken the mark. Kicks to the far side. Well done, Casey Brown. Does the intercept, picks up one-handed. Great tackle, Mark Walsh. Or was it high? It was high. Casey Brown will take the free kick. And he's right on his range, possibly. Man on the mark's about 48 out. Top possession winners in the first half of the Blues. Harper 14, Seymour 10, Paul Freeman 8, Dakin 7. The chief ball winners there for Launceston.
Whitford stat there, Foz.
I'll see if I can find it in a moment. We better watch the shot on goal.
Probably just outside his range.
He's taking his time, he's backing himself. This would be huge for Launceston early in this second half. As Casey Brown approaches the man on the mark. Kicks long, kicks pretty well to the goal square. It's almost marked there from North Launceston. It's a contest right on the goal line. Umpire will ball it up. So we're playing just 90 seconds into this quarter. And it's a ball up in the Launceston goal square. There it is. Lee taps it down. Davies can't pick it up. Should be another secondary bounce here, I reckon. So important, this first goal of this quarter, as Hilsey said before half-time, if North Launceston get it. The lead is substantial in these sort of conditions. As it's going to be another ball up. I hand it over to you, Macca.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do. Your boy Jackie Rushton's one out forward, Foz. So if North Launceston get it, I'm happy to hand over to you. Alec Wright, nice palm down. Goes boundary side. Bennett in front of Hodge. And Miller Hodge. He's developing into a nice... consistent defender at TSL level, Miller Hodge, isn't he, Mitch?
Yeah, he is. He can run, we know that, and he's been pretty good tonight down there.
Yeah, and looks pretty good size now too, as they start to develop from young man into the fully grown man, and the body's a temple for him. So things are going well. Alex Lee, palms down, and he goes as far as Seymour. Holt, left foot, inside 50. Rick DeSolder sets, can't take the mark. Blackberry's there. Harper. Quick snap on the left, but it's only going to go out of bounds. It's going to go out of bounds in front of Ollie Sanders.
I have a score from the D League, and it's North Launceston 34, lead Launceston 15. Not sure what stage of the game it is, but probably three-quarter time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's strange that that's being played over at MMA Park, and this is on at the same time. And hard for the clubs, isn't it, in that situation, to have the resources and that sort of stuff. But these two clubs are very professional. I'm sure they've handled it well. Lee, right. Seymour, left foot snap. It's going to go shallow, and it goes out of bounds. Left forward pocket, so right to left. A little bit like Fozzie's golf game. Across the fairway from one side to the other, and it's going to be a boundary throw in left forward pocket.
They're pressing, Hillsy, the Blues.
They are. They just can't get clean ball away from a stoppage tonight, so...
Boundary throw in. Alec Wright does the ruck work against Lee. Lee down to Cox Goodger. Quick kick out. Only goes as far as Holt.
Left footer.
So Holt, left foot, doesn't suit. Looks to hit up right. He's going to play on. Going to take Davies on. Snap inside. Good hit up there from Fletcher Seymour. Good hands over the top. Polframan puts pressure on Alec Wright. Can't go far. Davies over the top here to Walsh. Quick kick out. Jamison House sets. He's on Donnelly. Donnelly hacks it out of mid-air. Here's Egger. Oh, well done. The youngster there, Launceston, Jack Tudhill. And he's away inside 50. Jack Tudhill. Let's see what he can hit. We haven't seen Riley for a while. We're not going to see him here. Blackberry goes to his knees. Umpire says play on. And Callow gets the relieving kick out.
Out towards half-back. Thumped away by Miller Hodge. He's got a player in support. Great tackle. Gee, that was Tommy Bennett there, who's done some hard things tonight. He's kicked a goal.
He's lifted tonight, Tommy Bennett.
Yes, indeed.
They've got no space up there, the Launceston forwards, do they?
They've congested it well.
Got a couple back behind the footy now, a couple of extras in Callow and Richter Solder.
What about the emergence of Jack Tudhill? That was great from him.
Great.
Brilliant.
First three inside 50s of this second half. Shallow throw in. Might go again. No, umpire says it's okay. Harper releases Chug. Round the corner. Doesn't make any distance at all. Thumped by Donnell from the contest out of play. Macca.
And good news. I'd written him off, but it might have just been a cramp. Jake Smith's back out on the ground.
Yep.
A little bit limpy, Macca. A little
Thought
bit
he'd done the hamstring. I had him written off line through, but he's come back at half time and he's out on the ground.
Didn't have any ice on, so he might be okay.
Let's see how he pulls up.
Rushed it in there with Harper. Two hard nuts go at it. They wrestle each other.
Bulls.
Yeah,
they are indeed.
Cold night, hamstring. If there's even a little strain there, things tighten up.
Yeah.
Let's see how he goes at full tilt.
Ball
Jake
up.
Smith, important player for Launceston.
Here's Lee. Handballs forward to the contest to Bird. He falls on the ball. Whitford. Little kick. Here's Ponting right against the boundary line. Rushton there again. He picks up nicely. Tackled line by Seymour. Might be holding the ball. Umpire says no prior. Might have been a touch lucky there, the boy. Jackie Rushton from Rochalee also played a bit with Launceston and the East Coast Swans. Ball up on centre wing. Auckland wins the hit out to Chug. Gets a quick kick forward. Oh, that's a great mark by Callow. Jeez, he clunked that one. He was vertical to the ground when he took that mark. That was fantastic, Jackson Callow. He kicks now. Forward to the wing. Donnelly can't quite take the mark. He gets it in the second attempt. Kicks up towards attacking 50. Lasky's there, 1 against 2. He might have got on the back there of Boyd. Play on, says the umpire. Scrappy footy now here at UTAS Stadium. Harper takes it. Off to Chug on his right. Kicks to a contest. Great pick up, Jake Hines. Gee, that was good skills.
Clean.
And he gets it sideways to Seymour.
That's what they need. That's what they need more of. To Launceston, some clean ball. Seymour goes back in the centre circle to Harper. Off one step. He's got someone wide. It's Tudhill. Inside 50 is right. He's got off his opponent. He's going wide. In fact, he goes too wide in front of the scoreboard, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Not a great entry, is it?
It's wide. Even if he'd marked it, it was wide.
The lead was wide as well, though.
Very wide. Yeah, look, I just don't think he can get up centre corridor. We know he does like to go out to those flanks, but that was very wide. Nankervis with the free kick. Down. Looks for Bennett. That's wide, and that's gone out of bounds as well. So a little bit of ugly kicking as the juice starts to set in. And it's going to be a free kick to Jake Smith, who we'd written off at half-time. Suspected hamstring. He's come back.
Like you say, he's very important to their setup. You wouldn't have thought they'd risk him if it was anything.
Jake Smith kicks that one well. Full penetration. Harper sets. And he's now beset upon by Avent. And it's going to be a ball up right in front of the big scoreboard here at UTAS Stadium. And the scoreboard reads North Launceston 6-2-38. Launceston 4-1-25. And we've gone 8 minutes here in the third quarter. Bennett down to Cox Goodger. Little soccer kick off the ground towards the boundary line. The umpire says throw it in.
5 inside 50s to 1 the Blues way this quarter. So it's boundary throw in. About 70 out from Launceston's goal. So they've done most of the attacking this quarter. But no result on the scoreboard as yet. Auckland does it nicely to Chug, who's had a few possessions this quarter. Kicks blindly inside 50. Riley's there up against Nankervis. He drops the ball immediately, Riley, or taps it in front of him. To be generous, it's out of bounds.
On the full.
Yep, so free kick. Which way is it going to go? Is it going to be Blackberry or Riley?
Riley.
So is he might be the one.
He wanted it, Blackberry. He picked it up.
He could be the Jack Noons here of Launceston.
Yeah.
Dylan Riley.
Hilsey happy with the Blues. Hilsey's very happy with the big game against the Pies this weekend.
Great view of this one we have. He's right in front of the scoreboard on the railway wing. Dylan Riley sets it up. That's off to the right, out of bounds on the full.
Jeez, he tried to kick that just like a normal drop punt, Mitch Hills. Don't see that very often.
No, it's a tough kick over there. Very.
So it's going to be a relieving free kick, and it's going to go to, looks like Foon. In fact, I think it's Mark Walsh back there in the back pocket. Mark Walsh, one of the boys back from Hillwood this year. Lovely kick outside defensive 50. Clears the contest. And there was Hodge and Burt, who's been quiet tonight. Hodge is tackled, releases the ball, close to the boundary line and now over. Become a real scrap, Hillsy, and that lead of 13 points is significant when you look at the pattern of play in this quarter.
The pattern of play in the second and third quarter so far has not been free-flowing at all like we started the game, so that lead is handy.
Well, Harper kicked one in the first couple of minutes of the second quarter, and Launceston haven't looked like it since. No. So it's been a long drought. Over 25 minutes of football has been played in that time, and Launceston haven't been able to hit the scoreboard.
Launceston feel dominant sort of in this patch of play, but yet haven't really gone inside 50, so...
None in there. Of course, the next round of the AFL starts tomorrow. Grooves is not happy because his Thursday afternoon is mucked up. He can't go for his walk because the Hawks are on at 4:40 p.m, Mitch Hills.
Is it 4:40?
4:40 something on a Thursday. Unheard of, Dave Gruber.
Get your same-game multis ready.
Bet responsibly. Bradley Cox-Goodger inside 50 and looks up. Here's Lasky again. He got rid of his opponent, which the Launceston defenders thought was a push. And Jake Lasky.
Oh, he's been key, hasn't he? Oh, he's getting written down.
Very good.
Asterix.
Hope his family are listening up there in the Sunshine Coast tonight. Of course, his brother, Foz, plays at one of my favourite football teams. Matt Lasky's up at the Port Douglas Crocodiles. Lasky goes short to the coach. That'll get you a game. He goes to Whitford, who only snaps it to the top of the square. Lasky didn't have a shot, Mitch.
That was poor.
Yes, so Chug. We'll get back to the Port Douglas Crocodiles in a moment. Chug, that's a terrible kick. Only goes as far as Callow. He pulls the kick really well. Sets it up to Egger, who's scored by Chug. Egger's now taken high. Umpire says holding the footy.
Yeah,
Wrong side of the play. Wrong side of the play. He couldn't see it. I was going to say he couldn't call that unless he guessed. And in the end, he only saw the dropping of the footy. Now that's got to be 50. Egger is wrestling on the ground with Miller. Casey Brown comes across, and this has just slowed the play down. But Tyson Miller, right in the defensive 50. Egger stands the mark. Miller, near side, commentary side of the ground, interchange boxes. Here's Denellen, hits the pack hard. Got under Foon, smothered. Oh, they spoiled the two to Brown and Harper. Here's Curran, good hands from Withers on the deck. Up to Egger, here's Ponting, spot up. Got him. Oh, high, Lasky. He's going to get another kick. Bet you'll have a shot at this one.
He has to have a shot here.
Geez, that was a spearing kick in, and he hit the ball hard, did Lasky. He gave the last one off. Yeah, no, Port Douglas Crocodiles, young Matt Lasky up there.
I see that.
Up in the Cairns League, Foz. And taken all before him too, the Crocodiles.
It looks good.
They won by 200-odd points the other week against one of the Cairns sides, the Port Douglas Crocodiles. So, hello to Matt Lasky if you're listening.
No mention of Ben Lasky.
Well, has Ben's career finished?
No, I think he's still going.
Where at?
Old Boys.
Old Boys, righto. In recess this year, Jake Lasky, the youngest of the boys, and he misses near side, does Jake Lasky, number 53, and there's a behind. He's been a difference. Fozzle?
Update from the Invermay Park game, 47-24, North Launceston lead.
Righto.
See, Callow's been good tonight. He's got done really well across half-back, and his possessions have been pretty certain.
Yeah, look, he looks good down there. I'm pushing for it. I just selfishly would like to see him roll forward and see if he can be the difference.
He was there in that contest there with Hines. So Foon, he grabs hold there of Holt. It's out of bounds. So the score, 6-3-39 North Launceston. Launceston 4-1-25. Almost 13 minutes gone. We've just seen the one behind in this quarter.
Yeah.
So real scrap.
Callow's actually taken Hines now, one-on-one. They're the deepest forward and defender. So
great
let's see how
matchup.
Callow goes deep.
Is on the ground there is JB Harper. Released the handball towards Taylor. Taylor picks it up. He kicks forward blindly. Might find Dakin. Walsh did well. Back again goes Mark Walsh. Gee, that was a tough contest there. Dunellen and Walsh. Two hard nuts there. So it'll be a ball up centre wing.
The only one knows one weight is Jack Dunellen. Yep. And he put his body on the line there.
City Park Radio will be at Windsor Park on Sunday. Tigers versus Launceston. As we said, the Blues will be coming off just a 4-day break. The Tigers rested after that interesting game with Lauderdale. Lauderdale kicked 9 goals in the first quarter there at the Twin Overs with a howling gale behind them. The Tigers came back but left their run too late. Mackenzie Willis, as we said, started his TSL year very well. So great to see Willis and Lovell on Sunday. As an Launceston player is tackled.
Mav Weller back at Burnie.
Oh, Fozzie's boy, Mav Weller.
Yep.
Tell you what, these two sides will be on his phone list in the pre-season, won't they?
Surely.
In the off-season. Mav Weller back at Burnie. The former Gold Coast Sun and St Kilda star, one of Fozzie's favourites. Donnelly takes the mark, look to play on. Now he hurls a bit of candy. Look out, big sauce. Inside 50. Rushton's there, but it's only going to go as far as the ever-impressive Jack Tuttle in defence. So Richter Salters found his spot back in the back line now on Hines. So Callow's rolled up half back. Here's Tuthill. Goes in that direction. Over the top, Auckland. Taylor. He's only got grass in front of him. He kicks there. Blackberry was second to react. Avent was first. But Avent got a shocking bounce and finds Walsh. Walsh to Avent. Now to Foon as they switch. This is where they're dangerous.
This is where they'll get.
They need to hold him up here to the Launceston Blues. He finds Curran right at the point of the square. He comes out in front of the interchange boxes here at UTAS. Dan Withers. Better effort tonight for him at TSL level. Withers. Lasky, two NTFA stars. And the ball comes out of bounds in front of Jake Lasky. Getting across the ground well is Jake Lasky on Jake Smith now. And it's going to be a throw in. You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5. It's North Launceston, 6-3-39. They lead Launceston 4-1-25. We've ticked over 15 and a half minutes here in the third quarter. Launceston still yet to score since that Joby Harper goal early in the second quarter. Auckland, hands, over the top of Davies. Cox Goodyear threw it to himself and then kicked it. Chug tries that fend off, gets away with it. Probably needed to give it by hand on that occasion because he's found Avent. Up to Davies, to Walsh, good by hand, to Food. Once again, Avent, the evergreen players of North turnover. Good hit up there from Withers, one of the new brigade. Comes out in front of Sanders. Haven't called his name much tonight. Taken in the tackle there was Boyd. Comes out, Cox Goodyear sneaks one, chisels one. Here's Lasky out in front of Smith. Lasky on the mitt. Jackie Rushton, forward pocket. Fozzie, take over.
He's got it. He handballs it clear of the contest, but it's out of bounds. I'll tell you what, I don't know who the Launceston player was, but North Launceston were away there in the centre of the ground. It was just an interception there. I think it was Dan Withers' handball.
Yep.
And
enough to
disrupt their flow because they were out and had space to North Launceston. Boundary throw in as Jamison House wins the tap, only as far as Withers. Impressive. Kicks to the hot spot to Don Lee, who marks in the goal square and kicks the goal for North Launceston.
How does that happen?
So after a real arm wrestle for 16 and a half minutes, we get a goal player loose in the goal square. Dan Withers once again. He's been, it was probably his best game so far for North Launceston. He sharked it there from the hit out. He took it, he turned, kicked straight away, and Donnelly marked there adjacent to the goal square and put it straight through the middle. 7-3-45 North Launceston. The Blues 4-1-25.
Jake Smith lost his footing and just watched on the replay, and that led to a 2-on-1, and Donnelly was the recipient in the goal square.
Dave Gruber, stats on the clearances.
So clearances, we've got 8 apiece in this quarter.
Yeah, I feel like North really chained the ball away from the stoppage at this point in time a little bit better, and it's just wearing them down over
Launceston
time.
hack, don't they, forward.
Yep.
Lee, Auckland over the top, the youngster.
Here we go again.
Ponning, another clearance, give it to his groups, to Lee, kick out, inside 50. Taken out in front there, the inclusion in Julian James, the defender on Bennett now. So Julian James kicks it out of defensive 50, and it's going to be a ball up. So real emergency time now for Launceston Blues. They trail by 3 goals. They haven't kicked one since the start of the second quarter through Harper. And North Launceston are starting to get some dominance. Withers again finds Walsh. Walsh goes forward to Davies. Mixes it up with Ponning. Inside 50. Julian James sets himself with the punch. Here's Cox Goodger. Little check side Bradley. And a little slide to go with it. And they're away of the North Launceston juggernaut. Bradley Cox Goodger from the stoppage. He was never going to miss with that sneaky little left foot check side.
GCG classic, wasn't it?
Goal, goal, goal.
We take those sort of efforts for granted from
That's a good goal.
Cox Goodger, but that is a good goal.
Yeah, that's his 8th for the season. And Bart McCulloch and Jackson Callow have also kicked 8.
Just look at the replay. He was actually off balance when he kicked it. So check side off balance, right near the behind post.
Well, if it wasn't emergency stations, it is now. It's 4 goals to the lead to North Launceston, 51-25. 19 minutes gone, third quarter.
They've just been building in recent weeks. North Launceston strong wins over Glenorchy last week, of course, and they've been looking better with each game as Harper wins from the clearance here up towards half forward. Hines taps it over the top. Blackberry takes it, tries to get it back to Hines. North defence now tight. Walsh taps it on. Sanders caught there by Brown. Brown does really well. Can't take possession though. Be a ball up right next to the boundary line. Won't be a long quarter. We just had 2 goals kicked since half time. We're now ticking up to the 19 and a quarter minute mark. So ball up. 70 metres round from the Launceston goal. Auckland taps it towards Harper. Can't get a quality possession that time. And it's another boundary throw in.
What do they do now, Launceston, Hillsey? They've got to clear things out a bit, put Riley up deep. They've got to kick 4 goals to
throw the
get back
magnets
in it.
around a bit, mate. They're just staying with the same formula, and it's not working at this stage. So they need to score. They need to get a bit more drive from the midfield too.
Ooh, throwing himself in there hard was Withers. Isaac Chugg has tried hard this quarter. Has had a bit of it.
As I drove to the ground tonight, boys, I was thinking about psychologically this game. Finals this year, 1v4, 2v3, cutthroat, and then the 2 winners meet. It could very well be these 2 teams back here.
Yep. Could indeed. Kick off the ground for North Launceston. There's Egger. Fine game last week. Kicks off the ground. Ooh, going in hard there was Rushton. He couldn't take the ball. He gets it second time round, and he loses it again. Tough work there from Jack Rushton. He's on the bottom of the contest. Ball up. 20 and a half minutes gone.
You just feel like those North mids are just starting to just grind away and just get on top.
We know Brad Cox could just started with a bit of injury at the start of the year, but he's starting to look fit. Ponting back into form, of course. He never really was out of form.
Well, Cox Goodger's played more midfield time tonight than I've seen him. Like, he's hardly been inside 50 as a permanent forward.
Starting to get match fit.
Michael Musica, a player that Launceston are missing at the moment, copped a corky a few weeks ago, was very good down at Windsor Park against these guys. He will add something when he comes back.
Harper to Hines. Last chance here for Launceston to stay in this game. They desperately need a goal. He's a long way out.
They're just outnumbered again, though. Launceston forwards.
Kicks inside 50.
Just rolling back well, North, aren't they?
Here's Blackberry's up against the couple. Dunellen in support. And it's just wrestled over the boundary line. So 45 metres round. Can't be long left.
2 or 3 back there. You know, Launceston forwards were leading, but it's 2 or 3 against them at different times. Just,
that's where that blaze kick where they're blazing away is going to really hurt you.
Yep.
You can't just kick from a stoppage forward. You're going to look to chain the ball out more.
A lot of players inside 50 now here for Launceston. It's going to be hard for them to score as we're going to get another ball up. Inside 50s this quarter. Pretty even, 8 apiece. But North Launceston with those 2 goals.
Yep.
And 8 inside 50s for no result for the Blues. Tells a story. As right there with Lee. Lee taps it away. Shark by Seymour. And just those Launceston midfielders got no space at all. The siren sounds for 3-quarter time here at UTAS Stadium. The quarter went 22 minutes. It's North Launceston 8-3-51. Leading Launceston 4-1-25. The margin 26 points. Mackie got the goal kickers there.
Yeah, goal kickers. Well, that quarter it was Cox Goodger. He kicked 1 for the quarter. And Thomas Donnelly was the other one from the goal square. So Donnelly has 2. And so does Jake Lasky. Been very good, Jake Lasky. So Jake Lasky with 2, Donnelly with 2, Cox Goodger, Whitford, Bennett and Rushton with singles. And for Launceston, I've mentioned it a few times, haven't kicked one since Harper kicked one at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter.
Yeah,
So
dry
they've,
spell.
nearly 2 quarters of footy, and Launceston haven't scored.
Or look like it.
Yeah, I'll get back to it after I've read these. Harper with a goal, Riley with a goal, Dakin with a goal, and Hines with a goal. Now, I know it was different down at Windsor Park the other week, but they managed 1 goal. They managed 1 goal, and tonight they've played half a game of footy effectively, and they've only kicked 1. Is it connection, midfield forwards? Is it the structure?
Connection, but you look. I'm sure we could look at their stats in a second when we get their individual stats. Are quite normal and fine and good. And in the first half, they're getting plenty of ball, probably more than the North midfielders. But it's about the way you move the ball away from those stoppages.
Yep.
We've seen a lot of hat kicks forward from Launceston. The same from North, but you've seen a little bit more method, a little bit more chain coming away from stoppage, and they've been repeatedly doing that, and that's grinding the game out.
They've chipped away, haven't they, North, and just kicked those goals
without
when they needed.
Without being amazing,
yeah,
they've just grinding away at it. So
it'd be nice to have Mitch Thorpe deep.
Well, that's
go back to your original statement. Go back to your original one. Does the forward line work better with him now?
Yeah, and when he's not there, it is what it is. Do you now throw the magnets around? They've got niche players. Like you've got Hines, and he's just playing forward. Why can't he go on ball?
Yeah, definitely.
Blackberry, he spent a lot of time forward. Why can't he go on ball?
We saw him go midfield Blackberry the other week, didn't we?
Yep.
Where was that game? Down there.
Yeah,
Who do we
it's
follow?
Lauderdale, I think.
Lauderdale.
Yep.
He played a lot of midfield time and actually did really well. Had 30-odd touches, I believe.
Okay, we're going to need to take a break here and get some messages from City Park Radio. At 3/4 time, it's North Launceston 8-3-51, Launceston 4-1-25. Back in just a moment.
Hi, Andrew Doyle here from the Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows Telstra stores. Whether it's sports in the lounge or music in the study, we've made changes for those who need Wi-Fi in every room. Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage with Telstra Smart Wi-Fi boosters for $12 per month on any month-to-month NBN plan. You'll enjoy a wider reaching connection throughout your home that the family will thank you for. So give your home internet a little leg up and visit the team today at your local Telstra store. Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Minimum cost $288 plus internet charges.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
If you need help with machinery and transport, why don't you give Ken a call at TAS Star Transport? It's like a one-stop shop. Container transport and sales, side loader services, machinery transport, moving of transportable buildings, airbag lifting system, pilot vehicle services, boat transport, local and interstate, tilt trays in all sizes and secure storage facilities available. TAS Star Transport will arrange everything. Leave it to the experts. Phone Ken on 0428 528 069. A sponsor of City Park Radio. As community restrictions start to ease, time now for businesses to take the next step and get the message out. Let the people know you are open for business. Take out a sponsorship package with City Park Radio and you'll be surprised at how little it costs. A sponsorship package with City Park Radio will help you on the recovery road. Phone City Park Radio and leave a message for our sponsorship team. We are part of your community. City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to UTAS Stadium, and you're listening to City Park Radio, and we'll bring you all the action of the TSL as we will on Sunday when Launceston take on the Tigers at 5-2 at Windsor Park. But here, though, we've got a lead at 3/4 time, 26 points to the Northern Bombers. Team stats, thanks to our stats man Dave Gruber. The hit-outs pretty even over the day. Launceston 41 to North Launceston 31. Been a great battle in the ruck there between Lee and Auckland. Clearances 32 North Launceston to 25 Launceston, 11 to 10 that quarter. Inside 50s, 8 apiece that quarter. 27 to 20 the Bombers' way over the night. Marks inside 50s, only been 13 over the night. 8 to North Launceston and 5 to Launceston. Free kicks 12 to 11 the Bombers' way. And thanks to Darren Lovell and Damien Donnelly, we've got a readout here of the Launceston stats.
Yeah, just the Launceston ones. Joby Harper, 22, had 8 for the quarter. Always trying hard, covers the ground. Fletcher Seymour with 13. So you go from 22 to 13.
Big drop.
And then 13 down to 9 in Polframan. So
it's slowed, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Midfield output.
Well, Polframan, I think, had, what did he have? He had 8. He only had 1 that quarter, Polframan.
But he was good in the first half, Prof.
Oh, he had 8. Yeah, my word, he was.
They're tired, boys.
Yep.
Big job at KG5.
No, North Launceston KG5, not Launceston.
North or KG5, sorry.
Yes.
Apologies.
Yes.
Oh, so they should be fresh.
Yes. Now,
I've got to be up to date.
Speaking of KG5, for our listeners, the first time you've joined us this year, did you get a phone call from the Pies to see whether you could come out of retirement for the ruck?
Why are you laughing at that?
Did you get a phone call?
Premiership player.
I know you are. Yeah, they love you down there.
The name is on the locker, mate.
He wasn't here to play.
I can't confirm or deny, but I could do better than some of these.
Oh, hello. Hillsy's up and about. There you go.
Mitch Hill's here on City Park
Still
Radio.
a chance.
Matthew McGee,
Still
Dave Moore, Dave Gruber as we start the last quarter here at UTAS Stadium.
Paul Kennedy, if you're listening, get on the phone to Mitch Hills. Ball up in the centre. Lee got it from Withers. Goes wide to Davies. Liam Davies playing the wing role well. He's caught by Holt. Geez, he tackles well, the youngster in Holt, the former South Launceston Bulldog, and he's going to be rewarded this time. So, young Holt, Grant Holt. They love their junior coaching too, the Holt boys, Hillsy. They put a lot back into the
Good kids.
juniors, even back up at the South Launceston Kennel they do a bit as well. So, Holt goes down. Good punch over the top. Richter Solder. Callow picks it up and steps across the line. And the umpire's going to ping him for deliberate. You didn't try and keep it in, Jackson Callow. The umpire's pinged you. And it's going to be a free kick, and it's going to go to Miller. Miller, inside 50. They need one here, the Launceston Blues. Scouting the pack was Harper, but it goes out of bounds, left forward pocket. Launceston going towards the city end of the ground, and they trail 4-1-25 to North Launceston 8-3-51. If you just joined us, we're a minute into the fourth quarter. You listen to City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5, and here's the 200-game superstar of St Pat's Old Boys, David Moore.
To Kyan Macca as it's kicked out of the contest. I think that was Harper. Towards the goal square. Blackberry does well. He kicks it towards the goal square, tries to get it off the ground, and a try is scored there by the North Launceston defence in Corey Nankervis. Had a great game last week on Jay Bowden. He was best game, I think, since he's come back into the TSL, Corey Nankervis from Georgetown.
And to be honest, Hillsy, apart from the start where Riley got one, you'd say that he's won the battle tonight.
He has done a good job.
Definitely. It's a long kick outside defensive 50. It's going to roll over the boundary line. 8-3-51 the Bombers. Launceston 4-2-26. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall, Brisbane Street Mall and Kings Meadows, for your ongoing support of our City Park Radio broadcasts. As we've got a boundary throw in. A few spectators there in the background. Still just the 500 allowed into the TSL games. Hopefully we might see a change in that down the track. Wait and see. Handballs towards the boundary line, and that goes over.
And that 500 at the moment includes all players and spectators.
Yeah, it does.
All players and officials.
It does. And I saw Craig
including
Martin.
us, Foz.
Craig Martin during the week from North Hobart. He's lobbying hard to try and get things changed.
They should.
Boundary throw in, centre wing, railway wing, side of the ground. Lee and Auckland again do battle. Been a good contest. Withers. Been impressed with his step up, but this time he's been taken in a tackle, and it's going to be a free kick. And it's going to be Tyrrell. So Tyrrell's going to get the free kick. So Tyrrell, they need a goal to Launceston. They've only kicked one goal in that second quarter, and that's been it after a healthy start with 3 on the board. Harper flies, can't take it. Down the front of the pack. Well done, Bradley Cox-Good. You're playing deep in defence. Foon gives the don't argue after he got it from Ponty. Goes short to Whitford, and this is where they go. Whitford decides not to on this occasion, goes slow. So Whitford, the coach, premiership galore for Taylor Whitford. Speaking of, Cox-Goodger to Davies, got his first one last year after coming from the northwest coast. Goes back to Nankervis, another one who's come back to the club this year. Finds Callow just in front of him. Little up and over kick. Oh, it was risky, but it found the player there in Davies. So Callow, good below his feet, good below his knees tonight. There's Callow.
I'd kick it to him.
He's going to go down the line. He's looking for Callow. He sets. He gets rid of Harper. Not an easy task. Callow by hands does well, but he overshoots the handball to Foon. It goes to Pulfreman. Here's Sanders. Silky inside 50. Looks for Bennett. Can't get off his opponent there in Jacob Boyd. Good contest, Boyd versus Bennett. Jake Smith, we wrote him off, but he's still there. Miller Hodge been good. Here's Pulfreman. Halfback flank.
Pufferman takes a mark, plays on. There's a teammate there in Dakin. He's probably faded out of the game after a good start. Kicks short and finds Jake Smith. Left-hand-handed ball was a pretty good one out of the middle of Hodge. Stops and props, kicks forward, right front position. Callow nearly takes a mark. Right the better recovery, but he can't pick it up. Handball straight there to Dakin. Hovering now is Cox-Goodger. Little one over the top to Foon. The old firm link up there is Foon. Out towards Bennett. Wide kick. And I think it's bounced just inside the boundary line. So boundary throw in. Right half forward for the Bombers. 8-3-51 to 4-2-26. Thanks for joining us this evening on the live stream and City Park Radio. Electrifying start to this game, but after that it became a bit of an arm wrestle with North Launceston scoring goals at crucial times. Over the top now to Taylor, tackled by Whitford. Of course, Brennan Taylor, ex-Bomber, also had a stint at St Patrick's Old Collegians.
It's been a theme tonight.
Well, it has. These boys have stepped up, and that's been one of the positives of the COVID time that they've come across. And
been a bit of a trend back to the TSL recently, which is good.
Fozzie loves it.
Fozzie, be happy with that.
Absolutely, as Ponting tries to pick it up. Now it's Dakin. Kicks it forward, but there's nobody there, and Foon takes the mark across half-back for the Northern Bombers.
Jay Foon with those lime green boots. He goes inside the centre square, tries to hit up Bird. Has he touched it tonight, Bird? Don't believe so. Here's Taylor over the top to Auckland. He's on his bike. He decides to lay a shepherd. Probably good because here's Chug, one of the best 400-metre runners in Australia and under 15s. Goes inside 50, not a great kick. Goes to Nankervis, up and under, and finds the ruckman in Alex Lee.
Give a handball.
Have you seen the ruck battle, Mitch?
It's been very even in terms of stats. You'd have to give it to Lee in terms of the mids around him, the use away from the stoppage.
Alex Lee up the line, 3v2, and it's one of the three there in Tuddle, and he's been beset upon, he's been tackled, and it's going to be a holding the ball decision against Jack Tuddle. And this is Bain and Lowe. Started the game well, did Lowe. Didn't see much of him in that second or third quarter. Not a great kick over Ponting's head and out of bounds.
Young rang up.
Yeah, how much to do with him in the younger ones?
He was involved in the Devils last year. Really promising young player. He didn't, he was in and out a couple of games there. I think we gave him late. So
had a good 16s carnival.
Yep.
Son of Devonport star in Mark Lowe.
He's going to be a good player.
Did we thank the Launceston Football Club, of course, for bringing the live stream tonight.
Yeah, that is good to see.
They do.
Yeah.
They've stepped up there. So all those people watching at home tonight, and there's a few hundred of you, which is great for the TSL live stream. And you're watching North Launceston 51, lead Launceston 26. Once again, the ball's lost over in the grandstand.
Good chance to talk about. You would think that it's very important to stream these games, isn't it?
Well, it's just great because, they're all beautifully filmed, of course, by Ben Donaldson here and his team. From Channel 7 there. They do a wonderful job. Of course, the replays are available, but just to have them streamed live, especially tonight, there's no footy on.
No footy.
The Bachelor's on, I think. The Bachelor,
yep,
Lockie.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
Also great to see 7 News Tasmania did their sports report from the boundary line tonight. Tommy Johnson was down there.
Did.
Doing a live report. Boundary throw in on the far side.
John O.
As falls a bit short. Chance for Cox Goodger, tries to wrestle free. He's tackled, he'll be penalised, I reckon. Held on to it too long. Good tackle there by Miller Hodge. Not easy to stop Cox Goodger when he's trying to escape the contest, and Miller Hodge did a good job there.
You'd like to see him spread it here a bit. It's just
take it on.
Narrow. Take it on a bit.
This is his game, isn't he? He can take yards. He goes now, but he goes a little bit slow. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to switch it wide to Howes.
Now he's just.
He fumbles the left and right mid. There's the Bernie star in Jamison House. Came up the highway a couple of years ago. Went to Adelaide, played a bit in the Sandful. Speaking of the Sandful Hillsy, there's a little shout out we need to give.
Yeah, look, I just want to say a good day to Ryan Mansell, who's performing very well over there.
Oh, he's getting more of the footy than ever before. The Eagles.
He's doing really well, so shout out to him.
On top of the ladder too, I think, in the Sandful, the Eagles. Here's Cox Goodger. Takes a little bit of yardage. Left foot, inside 50. Terrell sets, and it only goes as far as him. Top of the square. Terrell sets himself over the top and finds Boyd. One of these young defenders, Riverside High School. Goes to Tuddle, another one. Former St Anthony's grade 6 star. Fozzle. Goes back via hands. Miller, he's in trouble. Here's Chug, left foot. Let's see if he can hit a target. Right does. Downfield. Downfield free kick. Alec Wright. It's an up and under ugly kick, but he's got Blackberry in the pocket. He finds him. So here's Blackberry's kick.
Took it on.
They haven't kicked a goal since the start of the second quarter through Joby Harper. Dylan Riley had a shot and kicked it out of bounds on the full the last. That's really been the only shot at goal.
Well, it came from Jack Tuddle taking the game on from half-back.
Yep.
He really just took it upon himself.
Nearly got caught.
But why not take the risk? Because,
That's right.
He'd be just playing in North's hands if he goes slow.
Blackberry, left foot, silky mover, Blackberry, former South Launceston Stormer, misses it near side. Just would have given him a glimmer of hope, Mitch. 10 minutes gone.
I think you did right, Mitch. They took the game on there. There were some risks, but good ball movement, and it's the best we've probably seen from Launceston since that first quarter.
If you've got any chance, they need to take those risks.
Short from Walsh into the back pocket and finds Corey Nankervis, brother of Toby, who's a star with Richmond, and he goes to Callow, takes it a millimetre inside the boundary line. He's got a low kick now towards Sanders, who picks it up beautifully. Back to Avent, back to Sanders, who's corralled on the boundary line. Releases the kick nicely up here towards Bennett. Big fly, couldn't quite take it.
Interesting.
He runs into Richter Solder.
Interesting, Ollie Sanders, but you've had a bit to do with him at school, Mitch. But started the year playing half-back, sort of that quarterback. Played a lot of the footy uses it well. Just gets a little bit lost up the ground, doesn't he, sort of in that forward line.
Well, they really like to use his leg, I reckon. So it'd be good to see him sort of play that high half forward or play behind the ball and use his skill level that way. I don't know about playing him on the wing.
Auckland, tap straight to Davies, here towards Curran. Taken by Chugler, handball to Holt. Sanders, we just mentioned, he tries to wrestle free. Ball up, attacking side of the centre square for Launceston. Inside 50s, David Gruber, our stats man, 6-2 Launceston's way this quarter.
Yeah.
So they've had enough of it again, but just the one behind has been the result. Bain and Lowe might have been caught without it. Play on. Brennan Taylor tries to shovel it out. Low again, off the ground. Here's Boyd. Managed to get a kick away under pressure. Did well. Attacking 50, Blackberry against the couple. Oh, big fly by Foon. Harper, handball to Denellen. Back to Blackberry on the right foot. So a lot of bombers there. And Jackson Callow, who's been fine player down back, takes the mark.
Jackson Callow, half-back flank. We've seen him play a little bit forward and a little bit back in recent weeks. Today it's been all back. Callow down the line. Bennett flies again, 3 against 1. Holt at the front of the pack. The ball goes out of bounds. Commentary side of the ground. So 11 and a half minutes gone. 8-3-51 North Launceston. Launceston 4-3-27. So an even 4 goals. Thank you for joining us tonight on the live stream. Courtesy of Launceston Football Club and via City Park Radio. 103.7, 96.5. Did we get a final D-League score, Fozzle?
The last score I had, Macca, was 47-24 North Launceston's way.
Seymour inside 50. Jake Hines. Callow, Foon. They've waxed well down there of Callow and Foon. And the ball's going to be balled up about 20 metres out directly in front of Launceston's goal, and they go towards the city end of the ground. They need something to happen to the Launceston Blues. Ponting, another clearance, Screws, put it down. Didn't go far though. This one's over to Nankervis. Picking it up there was Pulfreman. Good first half, quiet in the second. Bennett leads up, taps it, and he goes as far as Seymour. Here's Julian James from outside 50. The defender, top of the square, Callow sits. Oh, he's been a mountain back there. Callow, contested mark. Not a great kick, but he plays on and kicks it out in front of Davies. Fast play. Egger dances as he does. Left foot. Sneaky one. Beautiful. Finds Davies. Davies now. This is good play. North Launceston. Lasky on his bike and takes it. Just finds the front position, Lasky, on every occasion. The ball was coming in. And Jake Smith did everything right. Lasky just quick last 5 yards. He's outside 50 though. He's looking to pass it off in front of the scoreboard here at UTAS Stadium. Jake Lasky's kick 2. He's starting to really find his feet. He's going to have a set shot.
It's a long way for him.
Watch him just to maybe just pop this up to a lead. A little sneaky last one.
We don't see many of those at this level. AFL, that's
umpire's got to call him to play on. He's had his time. Now he does.
There it is.
Here's the lead. Rushton. Gives the little clip there to Jackie Rushton, and Jack Tudhill is going to receive the free kick. Little ear massage.
Yes.
Late in the last quarter, 13 and a half minutes gone. That's going to sting.
Live stream.
Tudhill to Hodge, not 15, tackled. Interesting decision for the umpire here. There's no prior. I reckon Jack Tuddill's been one of the best for the Blues tonight. He's been fantastic back there.
They just do a good job. Tudhill, Boyd, Miller, Hodge.
Young
free
defenders.
kick.
Playing well together.
Miller Hodge was thrown out of the contest there.
Yeah.
So he's going to switch it this side to Holt, who take the mark. Donnelly on the mark there, not letting him play on. Now he has to play on. Over to Pulfreman. As Denellen short if he wants him. He goes instead to Boyd.
Play on advantage.
Boyd now to Hodge. Can he use his pace? He gets his kick away just in time towards Blackberry. Clean bowls him. Event mops up. Back to Foon, who fumbles. Alec Wright lays the tackle. Blackberry there, tackled by Whitford. Off the ground, Avent. Isaac Chuck can use his pace here to get this ball. He does now. Has to kick straight away. Inside 50, but there's all the Northern Bombers. And guess who? It's Jay Foon, who's knocked up getting kicks there.
Well,
Defensive 50.
We thought early on that Dakin was going to put a little lockdown on Jay Foon, and he probably did it for the first bit, but it hasn't eventuated in the last half. Jay Foon's bought his own footy. Goes long down the line. The youngster there flew was Tuddle again. And the umpire says, give it to me, another ball up. Groobs, you've used a fair bit of ink tonight on the inside 50s and clearances.
10-3 this quarter, the Blues way.
10-3. Blues way inside 50s. Stoppages are 4-7 North's way, but Ponting's got most of those for North.
Inside
Gru's putting little dots above now for Ponting, like I asked him to.
Yeah, he's very
inside
good.
50s are now equal over the night.
Okay, so they've had plenty of the footy.
37.
Just that North Launceston defence, too good. Whitford, it's about this time now, Hilsey, that Max Walker, who's been warming the seat all year, starts to put a few notes down just for the 3s, 2s and the 1s. I suggest you do it because it's going to be difficult.
You might notice that's already been done.
Richter Solder, he got it in defensive 50. Callow goes by hand. Nankervis, they've done well, this North Launceston defence. Avent, looks inboard, puts Callow under the pump. He goes up and under with the hands. Hilsey would have liked to have seen something different. Riley, right, Denellen, could have given it to Harper. Ignores, go to the top of the square. Jack Denellen, goal! So there was the first bit of play. It was an open 50. No North Launceston defenders. And Jack Denellen kicks a goal for Launceston. That's their first since the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. Mitchell Hills, turnover.
We hope that gives Lonnie a bit of a spark to make this a good finish. But that was a horrible bit of play from North. You don't know why you'd do it over the top handball to Callow.
Yes.
Got put under the pump and then he coughed it up.
Would he have been better just to take the tackle?
Take the tackle, mate. Take the tackle, get a stoppage.
Talk about it at school tomorrow.
We will. It's a point we'll need to discuss.
Yeah, show him the YouTube.
And Mitch Hills Academy up there at St
the
Patrick's.
football factory, Mitchell Hills.
Churning them out.
That's all he can do.
It's a ball up in the centre of UTAS Stadium. That was their first goal, I think, of the last quarter.
It's the first goal since the start of the second, Foz.
For Launceston, but it's the first goal for anybody in the last quarter.
For anybody, not them, right.
Harper kicks towards the half forward. There's Richter Solder, little handball to Walsh. Fumbles. And now it'll be a ball up, about 55 out from Launceston's goal. So we've probably got about another 5 to 6 minutes of playing time. Blues would like gets 18 points. You never know, but they'd have to get one right away to have any chance here as Auckland gets it straight to Davies, to Ponting. Low kick. Jake Smith there. Tries to trap it with his feet. He dives on it. Gets a push in the back. So Jake Smith will take the ball. Need to be careful there, Dan Withers. Now he takes it. Now he plays on. Inside 50. Riley there. Knocked away by the North defence. Still a chance for Launceston. Blackberry on his left. Jay Blackberry for goal. Just off to the left. That might have given them a little sniff. 17 points the margin now. 8 goals 3 to 5 goals 4. As the ball's gone over the fence. So
as
we'll
I said,
delay.
it's psychological too a little bit because these two teams could very much meet in a grand final here. What is it, October sometime?
October the 18th.
October the 18th. Sunday?
After the day after the AFL Grand Final. Should be fantastic.
Wow, is it going to go that early, the AFL Grand Final?
Wow.
Could be the next week, Foz. Let's see.
Find out.
Where's it going to be held? That's the question. Could be southeast Queensland, up in Brisbane Lion territory. I think the AFL are just shuffling the decks to see where it's going to be. Where would you have it, Foz?
I'd probably have it there, but probably the best stadium is in Perth. But they're not sort of...
no, Mr. McGowan doesn't really want to open things up, does he?
Boundary.
Umpire Don Shaliro it is. He's got a new little hairstyle, Umpire Don. He's got a little mullet flowing, a little curly mullet, which is interesting. Ball comes down the front. Cox Goodger. Harper, left foot kick, doesn't go far. Whitford off the ground, as good as a normal kick. Lasky tried to do a little sneaky move. Rushton in behind, can't get him. Julian James by hand. Over the top here to Ryan Tyrrell. Cox Goodger flies, left mid, can't take it. Taylor fights hard, Ponting again, good hands. Here's Seymour battling. Harper just looks up, could have used the eyes a little bit better, but he gets it inside 50. Callow and Dakin go at it. Callow keeps it in front of him. Good hands by Callow. Only goes as far, though, off the pickup was Jack Tuddle, and he's taken forward in the tackle, and umpire says, give it to me.
Callow's done well there. He's played a multitude of players he's played on. He's got at all different matchups, and he's been really solid in defence.
Yeah, it's been a different role for him all the game. 51 to 34 here, North Launceston, as we tick over 19 and a half minutes. Can't be what, 5 minutes, you reckon, Foz, if that? Lots of stoppages, which changes things a little bit. Grooves has got a lot of inside 50s there. What's that?
13 to 3.
Launceston's way. Yet they can't hit the scoreboard. Here's Withers. Efficiency. Egger. Could be another one. Lasky leads up. Jake Lasky, bang. There's the efficiency we're talking about.
It's forward craft. He held that space in front of him.
Yep.
And at the right time, lead, bang.
We haven't seen Riley do that at the other end. We haven't seen the lead up go.
Curvis has put the clamps on him. That's why. And he could be figuring in... Yeah, Kirby. He could be in the votes.
Righto. Dave Moore, talk us through it.
Just good effort there from Egger, lowering the eyes.
Yeah, really good.
Spotted up Lasky. So Lasky, the man of the mark's about 30 metres out, directly in front. 20 and a half minutes gone in the last quarter. Jake Lasky. This is for his third goal. And just offline.
He just liked a little bag too.
8-4-52 to 5-4-34. So Jake Smith just barrels it out. It's not good though. Goes straight on the chest of that man again, Jake Lasky. He's too far out to score this time. Crowded forward 50. He's taking his time. He goes sideways. And he finds a teammate over there in Jay Foon, who likes a goal. He likes a goal as Jay Foon. He's got forward this year a few times, we've seen. In fact, I think in the last game between these two teams, he was forward in the last quarter. He's backing himself here. He's probably eating up some time as well. 21-minute mark. They lead by 3 straight goals. Jay Foon, is he going to launch or is he going to go short? Little skip step. Close to the man of the mark. Goes the barrel to Jay Foon. Not bad. It doesn't score, so that's the final score here at UTAS Stadium. A battle between the two northern teams in the TSL, and on this occasion it's the Northern Bombers coming out on top. 8 goals for 52. Launceston 5 goals for 34. The margin 18 points. Good battle between the two teams.
Yeah,
players shaking hands.
North Launceston only kicked one behind in that quarter, Foz. And North Launceston, just those inside 50s for Dave Gruber.
13-4 it ended up.
13-4, yet they've
quarter.
haven't been able to connect with their forwards. Hills will give us a rundown on that as we move on before the end of the night. Goal kickers for the winners, North Launceston. Jake Lasky kicked 2, probably could have had 3 or 4. Thomas Donnelly with 2. Bradley Cox-Goodger with a little check side special. Taylor Whitford, Tom Bennett and Jackie Rushton. And for Launceston, well, there was 3 in the first quarter. Started well. Hines, Dakin and Riley. Joby Harper kicked 1 in the second. And Jack Denellen 1 as well. And that's it.
Final score, 8 goals for 52. The Bombers, Launceston 5 for 34. We'll take a short break here on City Park Radio. When we come back, we'll have the stats and the votes.
Hi, Andrew Doyle here from the Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows Telstra stores. Whether it's sports in the lounge or music in the study, we've made changes for those who need Wi-Fi in every room. Get wall-to-wall Wi-Fi coverage with Telstra Smart Wi-Fi boosters for $12 per month on any month-to-month NBN plan. You'll enjoy a wider reaching connection throughout your home that the family will thank you for. So give your home internet a little leg up and visit the team today at your local Telstra store. Brisbane Street Mall, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Minimum cost $288 plus internet charges.
A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Over 65 and want to be more active? It's never too late to start moving to improve your quality of life. Exercise Right for Active Ageing is offering government subsidised exercise classes for older Australians. Receive 12 exercise classes in person or via telehealth for only $8 per class. Run by university qualified accredited exercise physiologists and accredited scientists, exercise safely with expert advice. To find a class near you, visit exerciseright.com.au. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
Do you want to tune into a show with the biggest names in music history? Well, tune into Ultimate Legends with Robin Kerrian, featuring award-winning music legends from Australia and across the world.
In rock, pop, blues and country. Every Wednesday night from 10 to 11 here on City Park Radio.
You're listening to Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Both teams leaving the ground here at UTAS Stadium. 5-4-34. The Blues went down to the Northern Bombers 8-4-52. Just some of the team stats. Thanks to Dave Gruber, our stats man. Hit-outs today really close. Launceston 48 to North Launceston 40. So a good battle there. And the clearances, North Launceston won over the day 40-31. Great effort by the on-ballers there of the Bombers. Inside 50s, Launceston 33, North Launceston 31. So they actually won the inside 50s battle over the evening. But great defences we've talked about by the Bombers. Marks inside 50, the Bombers 10 to Launceston 6. And free kicks, Launceston 19 to North Launceston 14. Okay, so it comes down to look at some better players and your votes, Hilsey.
Yeah, look, when we look at the game, I think coming to the game tonight, you probably thought, can Launceston do what they did in the first round on UTAS? Answer, no. They couldn't. Second half, they really ran out of gas. Their mid sort of stopped a little bit, and we saw sort of a classic North Lonnie game where they were able to grind it out through the midfield. And that's just what we saw in there.
That's been the pattern the last few weeks. They've had a slow start to the game, the Bombers.
Yep.
But then second half, they've just taken control.
They played a game 4 days ago, North Launceston, yet they've outran a team who's had a bye.
And it felt like they outran them, didn't they?
Oh, my word.
Yeah. I think if we look at Lonnie, I loved Tadil down back. I thought he was excellent. He really tried to take the game on, but he was also really solid across the 4 quarters. Joby Harper had a lot of footy, the big head, massive bobblehead, but he had a lot of footy and was really good through the midfield. And I like Miller Hodge as well. I thought that was one of the better games I've seen him play recently, providing a bit of drive off half back. So not too many others I would go to mention there. A little bit disappointing overall for me.
Yep.
North Lonnie, they took all the votes. Do I go there now? Or?
Go there now.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Honourable mentions.
Honourable mentions. I like to give a few shout-outs there. Like, I thought that Nankervis clamped Riley. Riley was the game winner and always is.
And started the game well in that first quarter.
And he obviously, they sent word out, mate, you got to tighten up. And he was able to do so, clamped. And I did not see Riley touch the ball for the last 3 quarters.
No.
So honourable mention there. Very stiff to not get a vote. Lasky, I thought, was probably the difference up forward. A very different looking North forward line now, which is the evolution of their footy club. They've got rid of those older players that have been there for a long time, and they're sort of still the best team at this point in time. So they're doing really well. Lasky was terrific tonight. Best game I've seen him play at this level.
Should have kicked 4.
He should have had a bag, and he would have been in the vote. So I'll go down there and I'll take him through some kicking practice.
Yep.
I'm known for that. I'll take him through it.
Awkward ball.
Taylor could get me down there.
That's right. Now, hang on. We'll give a little drum roll because Maxie Walker's sitting at home tonight and he wants to know the votes because he cops it a bit.
Yeah.
But
only from you.
Oh, no, from our listeners and our many thousands of people online who just send messages all the time. No, they don't. No. All right. Give the 1 vote first.
1 vote, my boy Callow.
Righto.
I didn't like him. I don't like him down back. I hate it. But but he was very good down there.
Very
and
good.
everything he did, a couple of little mistakes here and there, but overall was like a rock. And found a bit of ball in the end too, and used it quite well. So 1 vote, 2 votes, Fooney.
Yeah.
He came into the game definitely in the second half. Was probably the difference in his ball use. He's a great user of the ball, good decision maker, and got a lot of it.
Yep.
So I would have liked to see Dakin probably stay on that role. I don't know if they took him off or what sort of happened there, but he got off the chain and was probably the difference. And number 1, I don't know if we got the actual stat on that, Groobs. You look like you've packed up shop early.
3 votes.
3 votes was Ponting. I thought, probably not his best game ever, but in tight, he had a mountain of clearances, and they were good clearances. The clearances and the stoppage count was probably even, but the difference with Ponting was probably using it a little bit better away from the stoppage. So
all right, well done, Mitch Hills.
City Park Radio Player of the Year, 1 vote, Jackson Kello, 2 votes, Jay Foon, 3 votes to Josh Ponting. Guys, thanks for joining us this evening. Fascinating contest. Sort of ran out a little bit of steam there in the second half as North Launceston got control, but certainly these 2 teams are going to be about come the finals. Definitely. And it's going to be really interesting. And Macca, we'll see you at Windsor Park. It's an interesting challenge there for the Blues, isn't it? Because the Tigers, they can push teams and they've got a decent break. And the Blues have got to get back on target.
They've got enough weapons, the Tigers. Yep. Like Elijah Reardon's one man I like in their side. And obviously, when you've got Mackenzie Willis and Kieran Lovell in the midfield, along with the big fella there on ball. What was his name? I liked him the other week on ball there, Fozzer. What's his name? Will Campbell.
Oh, yeah, Will.
The rang there. He gives a lot of strength. So, looking forward to that game. Can't say I'm looking forward to Sunday at Windsor Park, but I'm
17 degrees, Mac. I've already looked. It's going to be
17 degrees.
Yep. Ben's enjoying it though.
We don't get any sun down there, but I look forward to it. Groobs will be there with the gloves on.
And
I will not be there.
Hilsey, thanks for joining us. It's been great to have you back on board.
Thanks to be back, Hilsey. I hope you can reach contract negotiations to come back again.
Game by game basis.
Thanks to Dave Gruber, our stats man. Thanks to Ben on the camera. Thanks to Ash, who organised the stream. And once again, thanks to Lonnie Footy Club for organising the stream.
Yep.
And thanks to Chris Ball back in the City Park Radio studio for getting us to air. Thanks to Tony Goldsmith and the crew here, also at UTAS Stadium, for allowing us to broadcast. So, okay, so it was first versus second on the TSL this evening. It ended up being the Northern Bombers. Coming up next on City Park Radio, it's the Ultimate Legends, so please stay tuned for that one. But as we farewell, you'll hear the final score: North Launceston 8-4-52, defeated Launceston 5-4-34. See you Sunday.